handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What do all men in power want? More power.
My name is Luca. I was an Italian by birth, and I became an American by choice. Our lives and freedoms are in danger. This is not a drill. If you're listening to this broadcasting, you are the resistance.
All systems go.
Welcome to Love, Guns, and Freedom.
We're not afraid.
Here we go, guys. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom on KTOX 1340 AM and on UnitedStates.fm network. Okay, another Sunday, another show. And I tell you, I must be very honest. Many times during the week, I feel kind of overwhelmed. Sometimes a little tired. Sometimes I say, why am I doing this? Seriously. Why even bother? I mean, I'm just a regular guy with an accent, poor grammar many times, and I have my own radio show. I'm pretty humble and thankful, but at the same time I say, really, why even wasting all these hours? It takes effort, I tell you, to put information out and to make a way that is not just talking about myself or things that are useless. It takes some effort or preparation. And what is the real purpose of this show? As I said, first of all, to try to, for me, wake up my fellow human beings, not just the American, because I'm an American first, but also humans from around the world. We are all under attack. If today I sound a little bit weird, I'm telling you, we've been more than 3 days here under chemical attack. They've been spraying us like you have no idea. You may laugh at me, I don't care. Seriously, they are killing us. Simple as that. And whatever, even if it was just regular jet fuel, what you're seeing up there, I would call that pollution. Seriously. And now, this sky used to be famous in Arizona, one of the most beautiful blue sky I ever seen when I moved here. But the last 5-6 years now, they have these days, like the last week, they completely crisscross the sky with terrible results. First of all, they deprive us of our blue sky. Then, of course, you got this sort of a strange fog that we're supposed not to have. If you have solar power, right there, you got pretty much an excuse to sue them, this bastard, because they are depriving also the right to use solar energy. But more important, our health. Whatever they're doing, we have enough evidence. It's not just the different bacteria that they've been testing on us the last 50, 60 years. I mean, look, you want to find out how many declassified documents they've been using, the military and the military-industrial complex, of course, and the U.S. government, or whatever is called the U.S. government, on civilians. And for the people in Mohave County that they are laughing, shame on you. Don't forget your fathers, your mothers, just 40, 50 years ago. They were damaged, many of them, with what is called the Downwinders nuclear experiment just north from us. And we were contaminated and people died. And they're still getting paid now, few crumbs from the federal government. So this is real. So if you find me a little bit disconnected today, unfortunately, I don't know what they're spraying, but it's a lot. So I'm trying to detox the best way I can, but I tell you, it's tough. Anyway, the purpose of this show, as I said, for me, it's a mission. It's almost like an act of love. Sometimes, some sort of a selfish preservation. I have so many things to do and business to run and things I can do. And I'm also a satisfied person with my life. I don't need a microphone to feel fulfilled. Seriously. But I do this because I really want to do my little part to wake up my fellow humans. That's what I was trying to say. And there is so much that's happening in this country. This is not just about Obama. This has happened way before. And unfortunately, Obama is not even the worst problem. Obama is just one of the puppets thrown at us. The final plan is to completely enslave humanity. That's what it's about. And where did they start? They start, of course, in the foundation, in the education system, in the school. But not just in the school as a public school. Also, more important now, in what's going to be the next armed force generation of leaders in our armed force. I was reading an article on Yahoo just a couple of days ago. It's called 16 West Point cadets in race fist photo won't be punished. Guess what? I tell you something. This is not about freedom of speech. This is about, first of all, you have a uniform, okay? Number one. Like tomorrow, I remember when I was in Italy, I was at the Nunziatella military school, same type of uniform, same type of hostility source. We were never allowed to do things like that, or the left fist, or the right open hand, like the fascist salute. They were all completely out. we would be not even just punished, we would be probably expulsed. How you say, purged. I mean, that completely would be gone. My point is now, in this new America, that's the most disturbing thing, that these 16 cadets, not only they're doing this, and that already shows that there is we got 16 on photo, imagine how many more we don't know. Let me tell you something, they raise left fist. It is not just some sort of a cool little thing between kids. No, this is a sign of oppression. This is a sign of Marxism. In every type of oppressive Marxist/communist civil society or regime, because that's not really society for me, that's the sign. Look in Russia, look in China, look everywhere. They're in Cuba. That's their type of sign. And of course, we have now a man and a woman, I think it's a woman, at the White House, that they're doing that on photo. So how you think they're going to get punished, these kids? These kids probably they're going to get a Medal of Honor pretty soon. And they're going to get promoted. You know what scares the hell out of me? Not the fact that just these kids now, it's normal for them in the indoctrination, because this comes down from the public school before even they were cadets. But now, the sad thing, these are going to be the next leaders, the next soldiers. They're going to also be used against the American people. Yes, I say against the American people, I said, because I tell you, the National Defense Authorization Act, unfortunately, exactly is made, 2012, the indefinite detention is for against the American people. They can detain us, they can arrest us directly under the directive of the president or the executive or some bureaucrat in Washington. What type of people do you think they're going to use? This type of brainwashed kids. Now, me, stop talking. I babble enough. I want to bring on the show, even the show is recorded, okay? For obvious reasons. I don't like to go to cross the river to the other side of the Colorado River. I hate to go to California, okay? I'm in Arizona, and if I cannot avoid it, I like to do it from here. But regardless, I like to get some feedback. More important, from people that they've been there, and they can give us an opinion and their input with their experience that, of course, is going to be different from mine. I was even born in this country, and I'm already freaking out just for what I've seen the last 18 years. I can imagine an American born here maybe 40, 50, 60 years ago, from almost another generation, how they can be almost shocking this change. That is not a change, it's a takeover. But anyway, let me give this incredible lady, because I'm pretty excited when I meet these type of people on Facebook, and that's why I really like Facebook, as much as I know it's a CIA control environment that you can pretty much admit everything the government needs to know, but that's another story. I like Facebook when it's used for this type of communication and knowing new people, that they can be really important also to make this show. So anyway, let me bring her in, because I want to introduce herself. Her name is Debbie, but I want to be sure, because I'm always so good to completely distort the last name. I want to be sure the last name is said properly. And she's a veteran, by the way. And she's also an incredible lady. She used to be one of the first mechanics. I mean, the greasy mechanic, something that I'm not good at. That's the lady. Debbie, are you there?
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Debbie.
Hello, Luca.
Please.
Nice to meet you, too.
Say for the first time your last name, because I want to be sure I get it down right, please.
It's Deborah Springard.
Springard. I say that because I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. I'm famous on this show to always distort all the last names. And I'm not trying to be cute. It is really my fault. I guess I have some limited neurological situation when it comes down to names and last names. Sometimes I also mistake my name, I guess. But anyway, listen, Deborah, first of all, you're from Kentucky, correct?
I'm from New Jersey, but I live in Kentucky.
Very good. I never been there. Which part of Kentucky, if I can ask you?
I'm in western Kentucky.
Very good, very good. It's a kind of I'm sure, different environment from Arizona. You got a lot of greens, I guess, there. A lot of rain, correct?
A lot of rain. Mostly, it's kind of like all the seasons. We get all the seasons, but very moderate.
Okay, good. All right, listen. Tell us a little bit about you, because, today when I posted article about these cadets, at West Point, raising their fist, and they will not be punished, of course, and I wasn't surprised. I mean, Obama raised his left fist all day long, so why you think we're going to punish these kids? You are also a veteran. I mean, tell us a little bit about your service, a little bit when, what exactly you were doing, and when.
I originally was going to join the Army, but I was a single mother, and they wouldn't pay me for my son. So I decided to go into the National Guard and had to give my mom half of, custody while I was away for schooling and boot camp and schooling. I was in from 81 to 87, and I went to boot camp in South Carolina, Fort Jackson, South Carolina, up on Old Tank Hill, Delta 114, and then I went to AIT there as a 63 B10, which was a light wheel power generation mechanic. I worked on the Jeeps, the cargo trucks, deuce and a halves, and 5 tons, and I also worked on 1.5 kW generators to 60 kW generators, and it was my job to synchronize 2 60 kW generators and light up a whole field operation.
Wow, that's a pretty interesting job. I tell you, for a guy it would be interesting. For a woman, it's kind of unusual. At least, maybe today not as much, but we're talking about the 80s, correct? I mean, that was the...
Yes.
I don't think there were many women mechanics in the time. Is it true? Especially in the National Guard.
No, I was the first female mechanic in the New Jersey Guard.
Wow, very interesting. Yeah, I saw also the article. Nice photo, by the way. I think it's a nice memory. Very interesting. But, I like also, that's why I wanted to bring you in. You are a person that you dedicated part of your life into the service. So, as a veteran, I mean, when you see now things like that, I would like to ask you your opinion. See these 16 cadets, all black, and nothing, I don't care if they're white, yellow, white, but the point is what they're exactly doing. Raising the left fist, definitely it's part of an ideology. They want to call it Black Lives Matter. I call it, for me, according to my knowledge and experience around the world, that's pure Marxism. Then, of course, it's also now associated with the idea of Black Lives Matter or whatever. But for me, at the end of the day, it's a pure Marxist. What do you think about that, especially when these people, one day, pretty soon, they're going to be the people that you're supposed to follow if you were still in the service? I mean, they're going to be the new lieutenant, the new captains, the new leaders. What do you think about what's happening in this country?
My opinion on that is Obama is raising an army. You call it a UN army, United Nations army. It's going to be a whole different type of people, and I don't fear what's coming, but I just believe these people are not going to have a problem killing American citizens or oath-keeping veterans. These people will go around rounding people up, putting them in concentration camps. These are going to be almost like transhumanists or transhuman. They're going to be shot up and vaccinated, and who knows? They're going to be like almost robots.
You're right. By the way, remember there was an article on Time magazine, I think 5 or 6 years ago, and there was the photo of these young teenagers, probably about 16, 15 years old. They were working for FEMA and Homeland Security, and they were trained by Homeland Security. They were all this sort of a uniform, and they were wearing at the time these sort of airsoft guns. And the article was about they're coming for domestic terrorists. People, they used to laugh at that. That was 5-6 years ago at least. Oh, I remember just now, just a few days ago, some idiot, and I'm sorry, I don't want to pick people down, but that's exactly what happens when we try to avoid to talk about these serious matters. He was saying, if it wasn't that they had airsoft, I would take this article for seriously. Guess what? They were 15 years old, 14 years old, and they was probably... By now, they already graduated by the airsoft rifles, and they probably now they have MP5 or M16. So this stuff, it's happening. I mean, these cadets right now, they're pretty much coming out of their school pretty soon. They're going to start to lead our soldiers. And that's the scary thing I'm thinking. What do you think about this? I mean, don't you think this is a plan that finally, like almost in the movie Star Wars, the War of the Clones, this army of clones is being prepared and bred to finally destroy the Republic. What do you think? Is this something, a conspiracy theory, or there is some truth?
I believe it's conspiracy truth. It's normal people, normal veterans that have fought since the World War I would never allow or do this kind of thing. This is, like you said, out of Star Wars, and they're going to need these kind of people to go after the rest of us that are not going to put up with it.
Yeah, I believe
they're building this Antichrist beast system, the New World Order, and they want people that are going to fight for them against those who are in opposition. Remember, George Bush said, "You're either for us or against us."
Mm-hmm. It's true.
He meant it.
Yeah.
And the ones that are going to be against him is the normal common people. Your Christians, your veterans, your oath keepers, your constitutional sheriffs. These are the ones they're going to be killing.
Yeah, it is very true. And I tell you, and that's why I'm glad, and I want to thank you to be even here to share your opinion, because, first of all, I don't care what people think about me or not. This is just my opinion. That's fine. But people say, you're not even born here. What are you talking about? You're reading too many books, and that's fine. But, I want to hear more people like you, grown-up person, people that also you serve this country. You took an oath. That this oath, it doesn't have an expiration date. And right now, more and more, I hope American people are waking up. Because I tell you, the only way we can stop this without coming to a very bloody consequence is to have enough critical mass of Americans waking up and try to make changes, starting at local level. And when I say local level, it starts in our counties, with our county sheriff, because that would be the first line of defense against tyranny. Of course, then we need to fix Washington too eventually, but we need to start exactly where we live. Do you live in a county or in a city, if I can ask you?
I live in a very small town, which is basically a county, and we do have a sheriff.
Okay.
And from what I heard, he is not a constitutional sheriff.
Exactly.
I messaged him through Facebook and told him I was very concerned about what happened to our patriots out in Oregon, and I wanted to know how he felt about the feds coming in and taking our guns. Would he allow it?
Yeah.
And he has not contacted me yet.
I'm not surprised. I tell you, that's why, you see, it's so important that we start to educate, first of all, our fellow Americans in our community, in our neighborhood, in our county. And then through that, we can start to build up at least the knowledge to find a constitutional sheriff. And right there, I really believe would be the first antidote against this New World Order machine that is coming after us. Are you familiar with Agenda 21? I don't want to guess,
yes.
but I was almost sure. So you know what's happening, for example, right now in Mohave County, right now exactly on the Havasu, we have a little lake that is being famous to have a lot of tourists and people driving, enjoying the trails, and of course also the part of the river we connected to this lake. And there is a refuge, of course, and part of this is controlled by the federal government. And right now, they starting to lock up all this part of these areas that used to be human friendly, at least open to humans, all locked up. So I'm sure you know about this war, Agenda 21, as we just said, but the point is now it's happening, like it happened in Oregon, like they make it happen in Nevada, the Bundys. It's happening everywhere. In Kentucky, what's going on with that? Do you have any type of situation like that?
No, not here in Kentucky. We're very gun-friendly. You can carry a gun, open carry, concealed carry. Actually, I haven't wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and get a concealed carry permit. Next month I'll be going to class for it so that I can conceal.
Okay.
And, because I've never done that before, because we can open carry here.
That's good.
So,
excellent.
But it's still, there's still problems. The cops will still harass you.
Yeah. No,
I'm just in a small town USA, but nothing like that is happening here.
Let me tell you, the sad thing is that this county and in general Arizona, we are super gun friendly. I mean, we don't even need a permit to conceal. Think about it. We have called constitutional carry. You can carry any gun you want without permit, just to be a law-abiding person without felonies. That's it. But the sad thing is that somehow these globalists, they have if you look at the map, this Agenda 21 map that people used to laugh at me 5, 6, 7 years ago when I used to show it to them, and this map is from the 90s anyway, late 90s, they can see exactly all the areas in red where they don't want any more human presence. But of course,
right, and push them into the bigger cities so they can watch them by the all-seeing eye.
Exactly, and they also
watch them.
They watch them, and also you control what they eat, what they drink, how they move, and everything. Because the point is, the moment that people like us, we still live in the let's say wilderness, or at least in these open spaces, we can still have a little bit of freedom. What type of water we're going to drink? That's why they want to also tax the wells and confiscate the wealth. That's part of Agenda 21, controlling all the resources. And then, of course, slaves, they are not allowed to grow their own food, so they want us to eat their GMO garbage out of Monsanto, wherever it's from. So that's another story. And so also the education system, of course, you cannot homeschool anymore, and they can, more important, they can control. You are packed in one place. And so my point is this one. I want to give you the microphone, because there might be people already on my show that they know what's going on, and that's great. All I ask you guys, if you know what's going on, please take the effort to educate another person. That's the job. But now you're here on the air, and maybe somebody that probably think I'm crazy, and maybe, what are you talking about, guys? Are you insane? This is America, the land of the free, home of the brave. Never going to happen like that. I give you the microphone for 2 minutes. I want you to tell him, as a woman, as a mother, as an American born here, as a veteran, okay? Please, whatever you want, try to wake up the zombies out there that they still believe we are in Kansas. This is not Kansas anymore. Go ahead.
Well, I believe the Bill of Rights is just about gone. I believe the Constitution is going to disappear. No matter what we do, they're going to build their New World Order. And my only suggestion to everyone would be, grow your own food. Put covers over it. They're easy to make greenhouses. You can use plastic. Grow your own food. Stop buying processed food. Medicate. Colloidal silver, iodine. Protect yourself. And, just because there's so many elements against us, here in Kentucky, we can still grow things. We do have farms. I'm in a small town surrounded by farms and big farms, but the farms are all genetically modified.
Yeah.
So you're getting cross-pollination, you're getting the chemtrails, we're being poisoned from the air. Now they own the water. You can't even collect water.
Yeah.
So,
wait, tell me
if you want to water your crops.
One second. Now even Kansas had these laws, like I think Oregon, people got arrested because they're collecting water. Can you confirm that?
Right.
Are you kidding me? Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. See, I'm looking for a half acre of property. I want an off-grid cabin. I want to be totally off-grid, just collect rainwater. It's against the law. Maybe not here right now, and I could probably get away with it because I can put it as a hunting cabin or something.
Yeah.
But legally, they're going to take that away because they want to know everything we're doing. They want to watch us. So this small town is really getting smaller. People are moving. There's no jobs, and people are going to the big cities. They're doing exactly what they're being programmed to do. And one of the biggest thing I have to stress to people is shut the idiot box off. Stop watching TV. Yeah. It's propaganda, it's programming, and it's making people into zombies.
Yes, and on top we are financing them. Think about it. I shot the cable, whatever you want to call it, about probably 5 years ago, okay? Completely, not even, I have just the TV with the DVD. That's it. But not only I felt so much better mentally, honestly, I stopped watching TV really seriously like in 2000 and 2006. But really, I completely refused to pay them 5 years ago or so. What really made me feel good about it, that the idea that how much power we still have. These paid puppets, like the O'Reilly, like the NBC, whatever name you want to call them, they're all paid off puppets. They are following exactly the script of their masters, okay? And they are overpaid. Yes. They overpaid because idiots like us, we still pay the box. The moment that we don't pay anymore our $40, $50 a month or whatever, they would need to really look for a real job. And that would be so good. Think if tomorrow morning, 1 million of us say no more Fox, no more CBS, no more network, no more important, no more cable, no more Dish Network, no more. I buy my own movies, I pick my own movies, that's it. And the news, there is no news, it's just propaganda, whatever comes out of the TV. Right there, we would, of course, use our brain no more as a zombies, because I tell you, I don't want to make it sound like oh my gosh, what are you talking about? I really felt smarter. In 2006, after I quit watching TV for about 6 months and just watching my own movies when I wanted to. I felt like I had, first of all, much more time to create, write music, produce, do things. But more important, my brain was acting better. So right there, you got a benefit, I believe. That's really...
right.
And then think about, we're going to tell him, excuse me, we're not going to play this game. You go find the money somewhere else. Anyway, please continue. I'm sorry.
Well, and then they turn around and they get us with the smart meters.
Yeah.
So they can still see what we're doing in the house,
yeah.
And monitor how much electricity we use. And see, here we have this program you pay as you go on your electric.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my electric down to $1.50 a day.
Wow.
But I'm disabled also, so, I don't make that much money, and so I have to be careful.
Yeah.
And I have to conserve. And I started gardening. I'm from New Jersey. I've never gardened. I didn't even know what a garden was. Mm. And I have to give a shout-out to the Eden Garden film. If people want to check that out, it's a way to grow food without ever having to water it.
Wow, I like that.
And and I tried it, and I'm a believer because it worked. I've done it for 2 years.
Interesting.
And I get to eat my own healthy vegetables, and I'm not buying that other food, and I'm getting healthier.
Yes.
And staying off medications.
Exactly. This is about resistance, okay? Sometimes, we don't win wars overnight. We may lose a few battles, but it doesn't matter, because our spirit of resistance, that's the most important thing. And we resist them even in small little things like that. They're not really small, they're important. What you just said. Taking control of our own food, taking control of our own water. And that's exactly why they want us in these controlled cities. And they want to stop the right of us to even growing food or having a little space that we can somehow live as a human beings. But I tell you, regardless, as you say something very important, the New World Order will happen no matter what. I believe that. But that does not give the excuse to Christians or any other human being out there, whatever religion you are, to just give up. Because first of all, I really believe one day we will be judged, regardless if we win or lose. But we will judge if we will what we're gonna do right now, what we're doing right now. So we gotta do our part right now. That's number one. But I also believe that us keep fighting, keep never giving up. At the end, we will win. Maybe not us in our life, but who come after us, we'll probably find hopefully a better world. That's what we gotta do. Listen,
right.
I want to say thank you again, and this is important. I'm glad I found you through Facebook. I don't even know how we found each other. Remind me, how did you find me? Did you?
I started watching your videos. I don't know where I found them, but I found them on YouTube, and I watched them. and I watched a couple of them, and then I saw that Freedom rifle, and I clicked on it, and then I saw the links, and I found your number and your page to Facebook, and I think you accepted me into something.
Oh, good.
And then you added me as a friend.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. You know, talking about if you have another 60 seconds, I'd like to talk to you about the Freedom Rifle. That, by the way, I need to really talk about it because this is a great opportunity. The Freedom Rifle, you know, for me right now, even just beside to sell this rifle, I'm meeting so many great people like you that they find me through the YouTube, and I'm very thankful. Right there, I would be very happy. But I tell you, for me, what is really motivated me to do this, because I really believe that, especially now with the economy so tough, and it's not exactly anymore the American dream, like, you know, a father could go to work and mom staying home, and with one paycheck, everybody's happy, you got your little home and family. No, we are living in a new America. And, 2 paychecks are not enough. And that's why, though, I wanted to work so hard. This is, for me, an act of love. I don't even look at this as a business. Because to put out a military-grade, American-made, this is not made in China, it's made in America, okay? The lower and the upper, they're all made in America. For the most affordable military-grade AR-15 in the M4 configuration, semi-automatic, for just $499 with a lifetime warranty on the lower, that's for me an act of love. So I'm glad that you found me through the video. And if I can ask you, when you did the boot camps, what was your rifle for the qualification?
I was a high marksman, 2 points away from an expert.
Oh my gosh, that's great though. You did great anyway. What you were shooting?
Yeah, that was a little upsetting.
I know. What you were shooting? M16 or M4 at the time?
M16, the Law. I really liked the Law, and the M60.
Wow, that's really good. That's really good. Well,
yeah, I shot them all. 45, I think it was 44 or 45 handgun, and mostly the 60 and the M16.
Very good, very good. So listen, that would be great. Now you're gonna get your CCW for the state of Kentucky. And what type of handgun would you like to carry, if I can ask you?
Well, right now I'm disabled. I just about can afford to live, but I'm working on saving on getting a pistol. The pistol that I want is it's a new one that just come out. It's very lightweight. It's called a Sky, an SCCY. I've read some good, news about it, and, of course I would love one of those Freedom rifles, but that's just a little out of my range. But I've been saving for about 4 months now to get a pistol.
Oh, yes. Let's start with the pistol. That's a good start, definitely. You know, because the pistol is always on you, but you never know. Maybe. I had many
guns, rifles, and but every year, winter comes, and it comes between freezing or selling a gun.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry about that.
So I wound up getting rid of all of my guns because you have to pay for heating, and that's hard when you're disabled and you don't make much money.
You know what is sad? You're telling me this really breaks my heart. Seriously, more I think about it, what's happening and what happened to this country. We have people like all politicians, not just Obama. Bush was doing the same. We're giving billions, if not trillions, of dollars around the world to other countries for BS, whatever. I don't care what type of excuse. Seriously. Could be Israel. How many billions we give to Israel? I never heard Israel was the 51st state. Then to Palestine, and then to Egypt. I mean, Iran, we're giving I don't know how many billions of dollars just to make him accept this terrible Iran deal for the whatever nuclear proliferation. I mean, meanwhile, we have American people. I don't care if you served or not, but American people, of course you also serve, you're also a veteran, that you had to face at the end of the month, if you had to warm up yourself, on top you live in Kentucky, it's not like Arizona, you die of freezing if you don't get some sort of a heating system. Between, having some gas or some propane or something like that, or selling a gun or selling something else. I mean, this is so sad. Serious, I'm not for
Yeah,
socialism.
it really is. And see, because I was in the National Guard during peacetime,
Yeah.
I didn't get veterans disability. I had to get Social Security disability, which is way less.
Yeah.
So it makes it even harder.
Yeah. No, this is very sad. Very sad. Now, let me give you a little help. Let me give you a little tip. This that I'm looking at, the Sky, you call it Sky? Yes, it's 9 millimeters. It looks pretty good, okay? I'm not a gun, I'm not going to tell you what to do, of course, but just give you my little input. I never shot this gun you're talking about, okay? But talking about price, I wish you can look at another gun. It's called the High Point. High Point, there is in 45 and in 9, and also in 40. But I have myself one in 9 and one in 45. They are not my main guns, of course, but I just bought them just because I wanted to try them out, okay? Because I like the idea that a gun can be affordable for everybody. You can buy a High Point 9 millimeters for half of the price of what I'm looking at here for the Sky. For example, if you go on Google, check it out, High Point 9 millimeters is about $150. What do you think about that?
Wow, that sounds a lot more better.
Yeah, half the price. And let me give you another little input. It's made in the USA, of course, and they have lifetime warranty. I know because I had also a High Point carabine, and one time I had a problem. They fix it for you. Completely.
Wow.
No question asked.
Well, if you could please put that in a message for me so I can look it up.
Yes, I will send you the link. And I want to say this to everybody. You know, the purpose of the show, I said, is to help each other out, okay? We want, first of all, wake up each other, of course, and I'm the first one I need to learn. Many things I'm learning as I do this show. But also try to share the good information. So everybody, as I said, has the right for me to have at least a weapon. Of course, I wish the rifle would be the main weapon, and also you need a handgun, because the handgun, after all, is the way you fight the way to the rifle. Normally, I carry my rifle not more than 5 rounds away from my handgun. The handgun is on me, the rifle probably is a few feet away. But regardless, if you need a handgun that is affordable, and budget is, we still shoot in 9 millimeters. You know, the one that you're looking at is a 9 millimeters. Pretty much the same size. It's a High Point. I think they are in Ohio, I'm not sure. But anyway, I'll send you the link, and you can get it for $150. When you get good ammo, they work great. I tell you, I had the 45. It's ugly. It's heavy, the 45, of course. But
see, and I've had them too. I had a little Smith & Wesson 32 revolver. It was my favorite pistol, and I wound up selling that too. But it was a great little pistol.
Yeah. But I tell you right now, you know, I hope you can I'll send you the link. High Point 9 millimeters. Take a look, because if that's something that you could at least have a chance to test before you buy it, you save more than 40% of the tag price. I think almost 50%. Then you can buy the 9 millimeters for $140. That's the point. All right.
Yes.
Excellent. And I pray for you. You win maybe a little local lottery. Not much, but enough to give you a little bit of juice. Or maybe something good is going to happen. I don't know, maybe a nice gentleman. Can I ask you something personal? You can say always no.
Sure.
Are you single or are you married?
I'm divorced.
Okay, so right now.
And single.
Perfect.
Single and divorced.
Very good. So now listen, I need to also share this other act of love. You know, not only I created the Don't Trade on Us rifle, the most affordable military-grade rifle for just $499 that I hope pretty soon everybody can afford. But I have something that's even cheaper because it's free. It's called freedomlovers.us. It's a dating site that is not just to date, but also to find friends, networking, like-minded people who believe in freedom, people who believe also in respecting each other. And, you know, that's pretty much. There is no party affiliation. You can do whatever you want. Just respect my rights. I respect your rights. And, of course, many of us, we're also into guns. That's the idea. But anyway, it's free. No even the credit card. Nothing. You can put also a funny name. We don't care. freedomlovers.us. I invite you to go there. If you want, take a look. Join. You can post. You never know. Maybe you can find a friend. Maybe you can find the next love of your life, or at least a companion. That would be great. And maybe, who knows, things can happen. It is free. Give it a try. This is my little act of love. I tell you guys, I did that really because I envisioned 2 years ago when I started this show, a community of like-minded people that we can network, do business, and also, of course, finding each other. We don't need to look like crazy when we talk about things. And by the way, there is also a message board that you can talk. There is also a little bit of a forum. You can also post blogs, videos. It's pretty neat. And it's free, 100%. So that's all I want to tell you, okay?
Okay.
Listen, thank you very much. I give you my best love and prayer from here, and hopefully I can hear from you soon with your first handgun, okay?
Okay, thank you, and God bless you too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
very
for
much.
all you do.
Thank you very much. And this was very nice. I tell you, this is the first hour of the show. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom. And normally, I like to have, of course, guests that they are book authors or whatever. I got the NSA whistleblower. Great. But the most important guest at the end, it's you, the listeners. Because you live the real life. You live every day's life. And this is the only way we also, first of all, can share exactly what we learn from our experience, how we can change things, how we can make it better. Also, sometimes even just talking to people like you make me feel better, honestly. I don't feel like anymore so alone. And not because I'm alone, I'm afraid, honestly, I like to be alone. But the point is, I like to find like-minded people that we look at this and we know we are growing, because we are sharing the information. We are winning this information war. It's about information, first of all, educating each other. That's it. All right. Now, little break. Don't forget, go to freedomrifle.com, the most affordable military-grade rifle in AR-15 configuration, M4. Unbelievable. And you got a lot of bunch of free bonuses, by the way. Don't forget. Go to freedomrifle.com, little break, and talk to you. We have more things to talk about after this segment. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom.
Don't tread on us.
Do you want social justice? Now I give you social justice.
The Zana way.
Don't trade on us. The Freedom Rifle by Zana. The most affordable military-grade semi-automatic AR-15 rifle in M4 configuration. Chambered in 223 Wild that can shoot both 5.56 NATO and 223 Remington. 4 minutes of angle for just $499. Made in the USA. Get your Freedom Rifle now. We need every law-abiding American armed with knowledge and at least one military rifle ready to defend good against evil. With every Don't Tread on Us rifle, you will get free parchment replica of the United States Constitution, free digital CD Don't Tread on Us, free ebook How to Become a Rifleman, free t-shirt Slaves Are Never Armed, I Am Not a Slave, free 30 rounds magazine where allowed by the law, free laser engraved ejection port Don't Trade on Us for just $499. Go to www.freedomrifle.com, www.freedomrifle.com. Get your Freedom Rifle now.
Because yes, you've worked hard, but you've also been lucky. That's a pet peeve of mine. People who've been successful and don't realize they've been lucky.
Okay, you're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on KTOX 1340 AM. Before I snap, because really, I'm sorry, I am pretty calm. Normally, I'm very calm. But there is only one thing that can drive me crazy. It's propaganda of... they're not even stupid. This man is not stupid. This devil, he knows what he's saying very well. And unfortunately, there are dumber people out there who still follow him. So that's the point, Mr. Obama, you know what? Yes, there is also a component in this life, can be a little bit of luck or God's help, if you want to call it. Of course, he doesn't believe in God, so he call it luck. But let me put it this way. People in this country work very hard. I know that. At least they used to, before the socialist agenda would be completely take over. We work hard. Many of us, millions of us. Then, of course, there are many factors. You can also work hard, but hey, not every time because you work hard means you work smart. Sometimes you may succeed, sometimes you may not. This is part of freedom. This is part also of free market. This is part that you have the freedom to succeed and the freedom to fail and hopefully learn from your failures. And this is coming from a person, myself, former immigrant, that I tell you, since the day I came here, I still remember the day, I don't even think I ever stopped working. And, and I'm happy. I'm not complaining. And I'm not saying I've done everything right. I made my mistake. I learned. I tried to improve. And I'm telling you something. There is nothing more insulting. Nothing more insulting. For a person who try to work hard and eventually achieve some success in some ways. And I don't care. It's not about being millionaires or have Donald Trump as a model. No. Success means that you were able to accomplish the things you wanted to do. And it's not just about money, how much money. No, money, of course, is just an end result. Success sometimes is to be able to say, you work so hard today that you're able to be independent, that you're able to decide, that you have no boss. So there are different levels of success. But the point is, you worked hard. And I know the average American works hard. Many of us, were able also to achieve the American dream. But unfortunately, it's becoming more and more difficult because of parasitic leeches like you, Obama. Because you try to find excuses to try to almost diminish the efforts and the sacrifices of American working people and telling them that, hey, if you made it, probably you were lucky. I'm just sorry right now I'm on the air. I wish I could tell you exactly what I really think in the way normally I would speak. Because I don't have many, my dictionary is pretty limited after all. I wish I had more words, a bigger, wider selection of words to call exactly this individual the way I want, without calling him names. But it would be pretty much more straightforward to tell him exactly the way it is. So, no, dear Mr. Obama, this wasn't about luck. It's about hard work. It's about making choices. It's about sacrifices. It's about sometimes, you need to, as I said, you need to risk. You need to try. You need to fail to succeed. Is there a little bit of a luck factor? It's called life. I'm sure there is always some factor that could be also undermining even the most intense work. That's why nothing is sure. The moment that you are born, nothing is sure. You may be dead the next second. We are human beings. So that's a fact. But at the same time, to diminish our work and telling us, that for all the people that somehow they're able to achieve something, I really find it offending, especially for a person like myself, that when I came here, I had nothing. And not because I have much, Technically, I don't want anything in my name. I'm completely the most simple, humble person you can find. But the point is, I'm today at least able to say, I do what I want. That's it. So that's enough for that. But meanwhile, the sad thing is that this model that they try to impose here in America, the socialistic mode, is failing everywhere else. And I'm sorry, guys, I really feel I wish you could wake up. For people that still believe that socialism is the answer. First of all, it's disgusting because, if you want to do your experiment, I have nothing against that. But you must do it with yourself without involving us, and we don't want to be part of it. I said already many times, the problem with socialism that you need the rest of us for your sick little game. And you need to force us to be part of your game. Otherwise, this game is not going to be played. Because I would have no problem if you want to decide to live your life according to your beliefs. And I said, that's fine. That's great. You do what you want. But you need to implement that system. You need to enslave the rest of us and coerce us, force us through the state to be part of that system. That's the most disgusting thing I could ever find in a human being. You are not just a thief. You are a coward. Spineless worm. Any socialist/communist out there, I want you on the air. I hope you can come on the air and we can have an honest, straightforward conversation about what you are. And I'm not even trying to call you this name because I'm mean or unfortunately it's factual, and let's examine that. When I say you are a coward, let me tell you exactly why. Meanwhile, let me sip 1 second of my coffee because I need to relax. This really gets my pressure going. 1 sec. By the way, I'm enjoying my straight shot organic espresso by Zanna Coffee, and I invite you to go to zannacoffee.com to get your bag and you support the show. zannacoffee.com, www.zannacoffee.com. So what I was saying, you're a coward. Why? Because if you were just a thief, you would do your dirty job, you risk your life, and you may break in somebody's home or go to the bank and you do your dirty job. You're a thief after all. Of course, it's wrong. You may get shot, but at least I respect you because you're a straightforward thief. You do not hide behind the government to do the dirty job for you. Instead, if you're a socialist, Bernie supporters, or any type of supporter of collectivism, that means you want to use the government to coerce the individual, to be part of your sick experiment called socialism, this global village. You want to force me in your game. That's the problem. That's the problem. So you see, you're a coward because you don't have the balls to come here and steal my money and tell me what to do, but you will use, with the 51% of the mob, the power to vote into slavery, the rest of us. That's why I tell you, you are worse than a criminal. You're a coward, spineless worm. And that's why people like Obama really love you, because they want to make you feel like you are somehow not a loser, but you were just not lucky. That's the point. No, it's not just about luck. I call that, there is of course some components called superior plan. I believe that, definitely. But at the same time, hard work. It's a good, let's say, 90%. Hard work means sacrifices. I remember when I came to America, I didn't go around to nightclubs. I didn't go around spending my money in useless things. I used to work. I had a goal. I had goals. Sometimes I used to work 16 hours, 17 hours a day. And I still do. But talking about that, I don't even look at that as sacrifice, as work. I look at that like a dream. Almost for me was like an opportunity. And I'm thankful. When I was able here to work, I was grateful. That's why I came here. I didn't come here to cry or to say, oh, government, give me more, do that, I need that. No, I came here, just leave me the heck alone. Let me fulfill my human potential. That's what I wanted to do. And like me, I know there are millions of former immigrants and Americans. That's all they want. To work, to create, to risk, to experiment. That's what made America great. Small little guys who had the chance to thrive because the government was out of their ways. And I had a friend not that long ago told me, Luca, you need a vacation, you work too much. I say, I look at him, he works as a regular job. I don't have a regular job, as you know. I vacation, I said, from what? Normally you need a vacation when you do things that you don't like. Yeah, you need a vacation. You're tired. You need a break. But you know what? I do what I love, and I love what I do. That's the bottom line. I create products. I create music. I create lyrics. I sell, and I'm proud. I sell in the free market. I don't force people to buy things. I have people excited to buy my stuff because I got the best stuff for the best prices. It's called free market. Exactly the opposite from the government, that they had to pass a law to make you buy something. Look at the healthcare. And they rip you off. I live in the great state of Arizona that even with all the problems, it's still planet Earth. It's for me the best place I could find around this planet. I shoot every gun I want, I can. I drink all the coffee, I eat all the pasta, I have all my wine, and I have no boss but God. So, I'm living on a permanent vacation. Seriously, and I mean it from my heart. So, dear Obama and dear friends, socialists, and I tell you, I'm not trying to be mean, guys. If you're a Bernie, that's fine, really, but not really, because, as I said, if it was just your personal choice in what football team you like, or if you like fish, meat, or you're a vegetarian, I couldn't care less. If you like to, get along, as I said, sexual preference, you want to go with dogs. Now, maybe dogs is not good because poor dog may not be agree with that. But if you want to go with a man, a woman, I don't care. But when you come to impose your will, and more important, your sick mind, socialistic plan and program on the rest of us and stealing from us, like Bernie Sanders said, you're going to get pretty much 90% of what you work for. That's really low. And you are disgusting, coward, spineless, worm. And I want you on the show. I love you, seriously. I will pay you a bag of coffee, and I also send you a bottle of wine if you come on the show. If you're a socialist, even better. I've been trying to work so hard. There is this communist from Bulgaria I met on Facebook, and he's a hardcore communist, he told me. He changes his mind, and I'm very mad. I really want this communist on my show. Anyway, guys, listen, I want to say thank you for putting up with my little rant, and there is much more information coming in the second hour. We have a great guest, Dave Kopp, president of the Arizona Citizens Defense League. Then more information from exciting news regarding the Freedom Rifle. Don't Trade on Us, the Freedom Rifle by Zana. Directly in Havasu. I will be broadcasting from a gun shop in Havasu, so you can listen, and devastating, incredible, exciting test on the polymer lower, 11,000 pounds Humvee against the lower of the Don't Trade on Us rifle. Who will win? We will see. If you want to support this show, don't forget, you can go to zanacoffee.com, buy a bag of coffee, and that's the way to really help me out to keep this show free from corporate control, and we can talk about everything you want. If you hate me, I love you even more, because I want you here on the show, and I'm never going to deny your First Amendment. You're always going to have a free, open mic here at Love, Guns, and Freedom, here on the air. Don't go away. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on United States.fm network. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on United States.fm. Okay, guys, you're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on KTOX 1340 AM and on United States.fm network. Second hour. This is the hour about guns, but it's not just about training, of course. We do the practical things here. We shoot and we go to the range and we try to share information, where to train, and of course, I like when we do these sessions directly broadcasting from the range. But also the idea to be educated, to learn. We have a God-given right, that's fine. But the problem is there are always roaches around. They try to destroy that right. And even Arizona, that you think it's a great state, because it is. It is the number one state, according to Guns and Ammo, that we have the best. But things don't happen by accident. There are a lot of good people behind working hard. Not just today, for many years. And regular people getting involved in the political process, going to the politicians, to the elected public servants. That's what they are. And reminding them and try to educate them. But the idea is exactly this. We need to be involved. That's why also I'm on this show. This is my purpose, to try share this information. Now, one of the best things I really believe I've done as a responsible gun owner, not just about, safety and being proficient with the weapon, but also to try to help my little way to defend our gun rights, especially here in Arizona, is when I joined the Arizona Citizen Defense League. For me, it's the number one, it's the only organization that I really support, and I'm a proud member to be a life member. That's all I can say. And I have today with me the president, I think he's still the president, Dave Kopp. I met him also front site years ago. We trained together. It was a great, fun situation. But then I also learned more about what they do, and I wanted to do my little help. I joined them first as a regular member, and then I became a life member. Now, why I bring them up here? Because there are some very interesting bills that they went on the desk of our Governor Ducey, that, by the way, I'm not a fan. I didn't vote for that bastard. I really say that. This is me talking, of course. It is not even just about the gun issue. There are other problems that I have. But now we talk about guns. And I'm sure he's also done some good stuff. It's not everything bad. But there are a couple of things I need to ask questions. So let me bring here Dave Kopp. Dave, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Very good, man. First of all, thank you for coming. You're a busy guy, as you know. I give you the floor. Let's talk about these gun bills that Governor Ducey he signed 2 gun bills, but he vetoed another one. Any type of updates, you can give us some information, education on this matter.
Well, credit where credit is due. He did sign a few bills. He signed 2224 a few weeks back. That was a bill that said basically that no state or local government could impose a fee or a tax or any kind of lien on a private transfer of a firearm. So that was a good bill.
Good,
he did sign
good.
That.
I'm glad.
Just a few days ago, he signed 2338, which was a bill that said that the governing boards of educational institutions, colleges, high schools, etc., could not say that you cannot carry a gun on a public right-of-way just because it happened to go through the campus of a school.
Yeah.
And that also was a good bill because you're starting to see some of these campuses, and I don't know if you notice up there in Kingman, but down here in Phoenix and in Tucson, they're starting to sprout up campuses all over the place, right in the middle of downtown.
Yeah.
And so you could be driving down a public street in the middle of downtown, and all of a sudden you're driving through a campus.
Yeah.
And so, are you in a gun-free zone?
Yeah.
Well, some of these campuses are saying, yes, you are. You're driving through a campus, you're in a gun-free zone. And so he signed the bill that basically said, well, gun-free zone or not, you're on a public street, you get to carry your firearm regardless.
Good.
And so that was a good bill.
Good. One second, Dave, let me remind people, because this is not like a minor problem. I mean, what happens if the police or the sheriff department, somebody, let's say, stop you and you're driving and you are in the campus, carrying a weapon? What would happen to you if it wasn't this law?
You're carrying in a gun-free zone under current statute that's considered disruption of an educational institution, and they can charge you with a misdemeanor for doing that.
Wow. So you got to go in front of a judge. That's right there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow. So that's good. That's a good bill. I'm glad, guys. You always work so hard to try to find out every corner we can to defend our basic rights. That's great. Now, tell us about any other good thing that he did before we go to the things that they asked.
And he also signed 1266. Now, that was a boost of the state firearms preemption. As you know, we've had state preemption of firearms laws here for years and years now.
Yes.
And unfortunately, a lot of our localities, Tucson, for instance, and numerous others, and you've had your own experiences up there in Mohave County, I'm sure you could relate. But they've basically chosen to ignore a lot of the state laws and basically said, well, we're going to pass our own laws here at the local level, and it doesn't matter what the state says. But the state very specifically preempts firearms laws because it's a matter of statewide concern. You have a fundamental constitutional right at both the state and federal levels to bear arms, to keep and bear arms, and so you can't expect people, gun owners, to travel around the state and have to deal with a patchwork of different laws. It's just not right when you're dealing with a fundamental constitutional right. And so the state has preempted firearms laws for years and years, and for years and years, localities have just ignored it. And so 1266 basically says, well, you know what? Finally, after all these years, we're going to put some teeth in the preemption laws. We're going to say that if you just ignore the law, that you're going to be subject to fines, penalties, lawsuits, and even possibly removal from office.
Excellent.
And so Ducey actually signed that one. I was actually kind of surprised that he signed that one.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad. At least, I want to always give credit when credit is due, and that I'm very impressed, because I think you tried in the past with a type of legislation to try to lobby for it, correct?
Yeah, and it's gone down a couple times, and so yeah, I was really glad to see that signed. So yeah, like I said, credit where credit is due. He did sign a few good bills. The unfortunate part is the couple of bills that died, one vetoed and one killed in the Senate.
Give us both. First of all, the one that was veto. Let's start with his direct responsibility on the veto. Which bill exactly he vetoed, and why, you think?
Well, and that's the question now. 2524 was called the Uniform Firearms Transfer Compact, and the basis concept behind this bill was that states who agreed to the compact, we would have been one of them, hopefully, states who agreed to the compact would have agreed basically to say that the government would not have involved itself in the private transfer of firearms. Keeping in mind now that transfer is not just a sale. Under the law, a transfer is I hand you a firearm when we're out in the field, and you and I go out plinking. We've known each other for years. Mm-hmm. I say, hey, I just got this new gun. You want to check it out? Yeah. I hand you my new gun. That's a transfer.
Yes, you're right.
Under the Bloomberg proposal that is now passed in Washington, has passed in Oregon, is on the ballot in Nevada, is on the ballot in Maine, something like that would be a felony.
Oh my gosh!
Unless you went and got a background check at a federal firearms licensee.
So let's spell it out for the public. Let's say we go together at the range, okay? And I have a new rifle. By the way, I want to remind everybody that don't tread on us rifle. And I do this, I want people to test the rifle. So every Sunday, by the way, if you are in Mohave County, I invite you to the Mohave Sportsman Club. Just email me, and I'll let you test my rifle. So the moment that I hand you the rifle, technically that would be a felony in Oregon and in Washington State, correct?
And now here's the trick. Now, sometimes the way they draft some of these laws is they might allow that to be an exception because you're on a properly recognized range. But now that opens up a whole bunch of other worms now in the can, because is that a properly recognized range or isn't it? Is your range that you're at a properly recognized range? If you have a private club that has a range, is that properly recognized range? They allow you exceptions in some of these laws that they've drafted, and then you have to figure out if you meet the exception. And it goes back to a question I asked in committee just this year when having a discussion along these lines with one of the Democratic sponsors of one of these measures. I said, I have to ask you, what gives you the right to tell me what I can do with my own private property?
Exactly. I mean, the same story with the car. Now, because I say, you want me, maybe you need to buy something, I give you my car. Now, what, I need to ask a permit to the government? I mean, this is insane. But unfortunately, it's serious because, maybe I don't want to go to the range. Maybe I want to shoot in the desert. And the moment that I do that and I give my gun to somebody just to shoot together, that would become a problem. So that's very, very serious. Now, question is, so in this situation, Ducey, he did not, let's say, went along. He didn't go along with that. What do you think, why in your mind? I mean, probably we need to ask him, of course, but what do you think happened there?
Well, according to his veto message, he said, well, gee, we don't want to give up our policy-making authority to other states. And I thought that was an interesting statement because when states enter into a compact that is essentially a contract between sovereign states, and you're not giving up your authority per se, you're agreeing to do certain things. And Arizona is currently a party to 27 different compacts. We've been entering into compacts with other states for years. And it's just like private parties entering into a compact, into a contract. Let's say you and I were landlord and tenant, and, as a landlord, you rented an apartment to me, and so we sign a lease, and we're agreeing between each other to do certain things. You're agreeing not to come into the apartment at all hours without notice, even though it's technically your property. It's also, once we enter into a lease, it's also kind of my property, too. So you're agreeing, okay, I'm not going to just wander in anytime I want. I'm going to give you notice. I'm agreeing not to allow my kids or my pets to destroy your carpeting or your tile. These are things that we're agreeing to in advance by signing the contract. We're not giving up our rights per se. We're just saying, you know what, we're going to respect each other's mutual rights under this contract. And it's the same thing states do when they sign a compact. So I'm not really sure where that argument comes from, but it does make a good soundbite if you want to veto something. So
I understand.
I see why he made the argument. I just don't really agree with the logic.
Now, regardless other issues, you guys focusing mostly on, of course, the Second Amendment and the right to keep and bear arms. And, of course, you also talk about freedom and liberty. After all, it's Arizona Citizen Defense League, But the point is, how would you rate right now, so far, this governor when it comes down to the Second Amendment?
Well, and that brings us to the last bill on the list.
Go ahead.
And that was 1257, and that was the Secure Public Buildings Bill.
Yeah.
And that never got to his desk, and it never got to his desk because his staffers were down there making sure that it didn't get to his desk. There was a lot of pressure on his office, on the senators, on the representatives from various agency lobbyists, basically saying, look, this bill would require us to put in metal detectors to keep out CCW holders, because basically the bill said, look, having a sign in your door that says no guns is not protection. If you want to keep gun owners, CCW holders out of your buildings, you have to actually have metal detectors, security guards, something along the lines of actual security to say, well, look, if you're going to keep us out, those of us that have CCW permits and carry and have had our backgrounds checked, and the government has, quote-unquote, approved us to carry guns, if you want to keep us out, you have to keep everybody else out, too, because the bad guys don't care about your signs, and they're going to walk right past them. The only people who are obeying the signs are us.
Exactly.
So you have to put actual security in the buildings. And so the agencies were going to these folks and saying, look, we don't want to acknowledge all of this. We don't want to actually have to put security up because, if you pass this law, then CCW holders are going to be able to walk in legally, and we can't have that. So we'd have to put security up, and it's going to cost us a lot of money. And so the arguments that we were getting were basically like, everybody, all these agencies are going to put the security up because they can't allow CCW holders in, and it's going to cost them a fortune, and we can't afford that. And so, of course, our response to that was, we'll just take the signs down and let them in.
Exactly.
And
this is very common sense thing, by the way. This is not even about guns or no guns. The point is, it's a very logical thing. The government, some government buildings, they have not any type of screening or security. But they can put a magic sign, it's called gun-free zone. That means we law-abiding citizens, even people with a CCW that have already been cleared, and we already get this sort of a trust by the government that we can not carry a weapon in that building. But at the same time, the building is free for all. That means anybody who wants to break the law, and that's normally crazy people, that's what they do. They come there, they can come with a hidden, let's say, concealed gun, or even, doesn't matter which gun, but they can come there. So they don't want to protect us, at the same time they want to disarm us. I mean, that's a double standard, completely insane on every level, not just hypocritical. Because if you give me a CCW that I am a law-abiding person, and you clear me, and you know that I have no any type of criminal records, and the state entrusts me to give me this concealed weapon, even if we don't need it anymore with a permit. But still, and then when I go in this building, they don't even bother to protect us when they disarm us. So that's insane. So this guy, again, I think there was another governor before that. You were trying this bill many times, right?
Well, yeah, Jan Brewer vetoed it, but at least she was forthright enough to let it get to her desk and vetoed it.
Okay, at least it was straight.
And that was kind of the problem that I had here. Was what they did was they told us all along that they were not working to kill the bill when we knew that they were. And so the bill got over to the House, and there was an amendment requested by the Maricopa County Hospital folks, which we opposed. The governor's folks called us and said, look, we would appreciate it if you would let the amendment get on, for us. And so we said, well, gee, we don't want to fight with the governor over this. If it's important to him, then sure, we won't oppose it. And so they put the amendment on in the House, and of course, in the back of our heads, we're thinking, well, gee, either he wants the amendment because he's going to sign the bill, or he wants the amendment because he wants it to go back to the Senate so he can try and kill it again. Well, guess what happened? It went back to the Senate, and immediately his folks went down there and started lobbying senators to kill the bill on the floor. And so that's what happened. 4 senators that had voted for it the first time out flipped their and voted against it. One of them took a walk and didn't vote for it at all. The other 3 voted against it.
Give us the name. Give us the name, please, if you can.
Well, Senator Dial took a walk. Senators Begay, Pierce, and Worsley flipped their votes.
Wow. Wow, that's interesting. I mean, I want everybody to listen to these names and ask them questions. Why? Why did you change your mind? What is so important to compromise our safety and our rights? Okay? This is the bottom line. It's about safety and rights. You know, you now disarm me. You don't even provide security in a public building, but at the same time, you just put a stupid sign out there and we think everybody's going to be safe. You know, I don't want anything to happen, but I tell you, if something happens in a public building like that, where law-abiding people, they're going to be injured or killed, murdered, while they've been disarmed, I hope it's going to be a huge lawsuit to sue, first of all, the governor himself, seriously, and all the legislators. Forget about the state itself. We need to sue him personally, the legislator that they denied us the right of self-defense and common sense. I think that's what really we should start to do. Sue him personally. Forget about the state. I know they're shielded or whatever, but I will still freak them out a little bit. You know, this is insane.
They're protected.
I know. I understand. Everything they do is protected. But guess what? I like to see their face when they serve anyway. But anyway, listen, I completely respect you for what you're doing. Because I tell you, this is your life, you know. I mean, this is not something you do as a hobby. This is a big part of your life. I mean, how many hours really do you spend every day? I always see you going around Phoenix, the capital, and talking to people, and you got, you know, this message board that I sometimes it's hard for me even to follow up all the things you talk about, guys. You know, you're always so busy. How can people help you out? How can people join Arizona Citizen Defense League?
Well, everything's on the website, www.azcdl.org. And, you know, go to the website. You can join there. You can sign up for the alerts there. There's all kinds of great information there. Everything starts at the website.
Yes, and everything starts at the website. Also, everything starts with ourselves to start to get involved a little bit. Because, you know, I read something you said. You know, yes, people think now this is Arizona, we are safe. We are never safe, right? I mean, we always are, not even a generation away. We are always maybe a couple of elections away to be attacked and defeated. What do you think?
And part of the problem, you mentioned our number one ranking from Guns and Ammo magazine now 3 years running. Part of the problem with that, as great as it is it puts a big old target on us.
Yes.
And all the folks like Bloomberg and all his billionaire friends that would love to impose gun control on us, they look at us as the jewel in the crown. If they can get us, everybody else will fall.
Yes. So we got to really stick together, you know, and I say, guys, you know, we may have sometimes differences of opinion, you know, maybe because we don't know things. You know, many times I try to learn myself, you know, I ask questions. But I hate, seriously, I hate to use the word hate, but this is what I really feel. When people just throw rocks at people like you know, regardless, just because you're doing something, maybe they don't agree. And then when I invite them on the show to ask you questions, or maybe to have a civil conversation about it, they just run and they use the stupid word, I'm not for part of the democracy. First of all, nobody ever said democracy. We are here having an exchange of opinions. And it's my duty to invite people, especially who disagree. That's what I like. But regardless, I tell you, not because you don't pay me, I tell you from my heart, I really believe organizations like yours is what kept the state of Arizona like the jewel that we have and we must preserve for who's coming after us. And I tell you, if I wasn't in Arizona, I don't know where I would go in the rest of the world. This is it. That's why I support you with my heart. And sometimes there may be things, I don't know. I never found anything we don't agree. But if there is something, that's fine, guys. That's why we're here. We try to learn from each other. Again, one more time, one more website. Please, people, go to this website and don't be cheap. Give at least $30 for the yearly fee. I think it's really worth it. Give it up. Give it, please.
www.azcdl.org. And, you know, you mentioned opposing opinions, and we are never, ever opposed to a better idea. If somebody else has a better idea, we're open to it. We never said we're the smartest people in the room. So, by all means, come on out and let us know if you have a better idea.
Very good. Listen, thank you very much, Dave. I appreciate your time. And keep us posted. Everything's going on, okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you. And that was Dave Kopp, Arizona Citizen Defense League. And I really mean it. It's something that if you're serious about preserving the rights, I say all rights, but specifically the right to keep and bear arms in the state of Arizona, This is the organization. Forget the NRA, Gun Owners of America. I mean, that's fine, whatever. You can do it. But this is Arizona, specifically the only Arizona group really that really goes straight to the heart of the beast. Straight to Phoenix. Talks face to face with all the legislators. They spend times, hours, days, the year, the 6 months that they give the business, the government business runs. They are there. Okay? They try to craft good bills. Okay? And that's why today in the U.S., among the all 50 states, according to Guns and Ammo, and you can do your own research for 3 years in a row, I guess, Arizona is the number one state for gun rights. That for me, it's a human right. I tell you, there is no other place in the world I could even dream to do the thing I do here. Can get up in the morning, look at my shoes and look at my guns, and I can decide what type of shoes I can wear, what type of guns I can wear without a permit. Because permits, they're only for slaves. When you ask a permit to somebody, it means that you already submitted to the authority. This is not a privilege, it's a right. We used to have open carry. That means every law-abiding person could carry a weapon without permit, openly. But then, with the hard work of people like Dave Kopp and all the other volunteers, we were able to remind to the government in Arizona that, hey, the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It didn't say open carry or conceal. No, if you're a law-abiding person, I have that right. So we have the constitutional carry. This is already a few years, of course. That means any law-abiding person, resident of the state of Arizona, can carry a weapon over 21 concealed, without permit. And then, of course, if you want to get your CCW, that's great. And there are some advantages. I still have mine. And by the way, I got today the renewal. And I think, as much as I don't like the word permits, as I said, but there are some advantages. There are some states that reciprocate this permit. So, for example, when I go to to Nevada, you have to watch, of course, Nevada, because differently from Arizona, that we have preemptive state laws. In Nevada, every community, every local county or city can do their own little stupid laws. Okay? So we gotta watch that too. But at least, our permits are recognized in the state of Nevada. So that's good. And there are some added benefits. So that's the point. Now, little break, then we go into more news. And I'm going to talk more about the Don't Tread on Us. I'm very happy and proud to tell you that the Don't Tread on Us, for me, is my favorite rifle right now in 5.56. I have many rifles out there. I can have any rifle I want. But I tell you, for me, this is one of the best I have. And I love it. And I'll tell you more after this break. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna. Don't go away.
Don't tread on us.
Do you want social justice? Now I give you social justice. The Zanna way. Don't trade on us. The Freedom Rifle by Zanna. The most affordable military-grade semi-automatic AR-15 rifle in M4 configuration. Chambered in 223 Wild that can shoot both 5.56 NATO and 223 Remington. 4 minutes of angle for just $499. Made in the USA. Get your Freedom Rifle now. We need every law-abiding American armed with knowledge and at least one military rifle ready to defend good against evil. With every Don't Tread on Us rifle, you will get free parchment replica of the United States Constitution, free digital CD Don't Tread on Us, free ebook How to Become a Rifleman, free t-shirt Slaves Are Never Armed, I Am Not a Slave, free 30 rounds magazine where allowed by the law, free laser engraved ejection port Don't Tread on Us for just $499. Go to www.freedomrifle.com, www.freedomrifle.com. Get your Freedom Rifle now. Here we go, guys. This is Luca Zanna. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom on KTOX 1340 AM and on United States.FM network. Guess what? I am in my favorite place, a gun store. But this is not just a regular gun store. Because you know what? It's the gun store that's selling the Don't Tread on Us rifle in Mohave County. We already have a place in Golden Valley. You know that, guys. That's great. But now, sometimes you like to go to Lake Havasu. It's a great place. You can have a lot of fun. There is the lake and all the stuff. And you can buy guns. Guess what? And exactly, I am a place that, I had the honor a few times on my show already. Is a political activist. Guess what? Is also, for me, more important, is a provider of a great service. Talking about guns, we need to have local gun stores. That's why I wanted to collaborate with people like him. In this case, let's straight up the name, Sam Shooter, Sam Scarmardo, because I really want to spread out this message of love and freedom to everybody, not just directly through me, but I want you can buy the Don't Trade on Us rifle locally, okay? So we can also help the local economy. So right now I am with somebody even better than Sam, because it's better looking, she has a better smile, and of course she has better figure, okay? And just introduce yourself. What's your name?
Hi, this is Madison.
Nice to meet you, Madison. So you work here at Sam, right?
Yes, I do. I've actually been a customer here at Sam's for over 2 years now, and luckily was able to get a position here in the last few months.
Very good. So excellent, because that's exactly what I like. When people from the other side, I understand the needs and what's going on. What type of customer service would you like? And I like the fact that, because it makes difference for me, but you're a woman, so probably you can understand better the woman needs, right?
Exactly. I like being able to come out and converse with other female customers, give them my opinion and my standing on my experience with my firearms, and hopefully be able to help them make a better, more informed decision for themselves.
And also I think it's less intimidating, because I tell you, if I were a woman, and I look at one of these guys normally, don't get me wrong, all tattoos and looking. I mean, they're nice guys. They're great guys. I've been talking to them. But, maybe a woman said, what's going on? Maybe I don't want to go there. I'm kind of afraid. Instead, I look at you, say they feel more confident.
Agreed. Whenever I come in here, the guys are all wonderful. But as a woman, we tend to flock towards other women and tend to listen to other women's opinions a little bit more. As a woman, I prefer it.
Perfect. Now, so we didn't really have a chance to shoot yet this rifle with you guys, but I want you at least to give me your opinion just from the price and the goodies that you get for the Don't Trade on Us rifle. What do you think?
I think it's a wonderful package. Everything that you've put into it, first off, all of these products are made in the United States of America,
yes.
And that's exactly what we need, is more products being produced here at home to create jobs and revenue for our own citizens. I love the upper, the custom stamp of the Don't Tread on Me is beautiful. All the extras that you've put in there, the custom copy of not a custom copy, but the copy of the United States Constitution is wonderful. People love that as a great wall hanger or some kind of decorative piece. I'm really excited to look at the How to Become a Rifleman ebook that comes along with it as well. That looks like that's going to be an awesome product. Yeah,
and more than an ebook. At the beginning, I wanted just to make like an ebook that you download it once. Instead, I wanted to do like an access to the website that every week we upload new things. So there is like a new chapters every week. And we also try to put like videos, like not just out read it, but also video how to do it, because the idea is not just get you the rifle, buy the rifle and get out of here. No, we want to give you the rifle and try hopefully to get you a better rifleman, a more educated person and safer person.
Exactly. As a somewhat new shooter myself, it's always nice to be able to have as many avenues as possible to get information that's actually going to help me become not only a better shooter, but a better gun owner all the way around.
Very good, very good. Excellent. So anyway, listeners, if you're out there, I know you're out there, and by the way, there's a good signal here with the show, not just on the internet, but also on the airwave, 1340 AM. Havasu, it's a great place to buy the Don't Trade on Us rifle. And I remind you what you get, so you know exactly very well. First of all, the final price of the rifle is $499, okay? $499. This is the most affordable. I don't want to call it cheap, because cheap is something normally I know in English, even it's not my first language. It is not really a good word. No. Affordable, but great quality. The most affordable military grade rifle, AR-15 platform in M4 configuration in the 223 Wild for just $499 before taxes, of course. And then you get a digital copy of the Don't Trade on Us CD. By myself, normally I sell it on Amazon and people buy $10.99 or $12.99. So it's a little value there. And that's the idea. Also, the name of the rifle, Don't Trade on Us. There you have the copy of the Constitution. There you have access to the rifletraining.tv, and you download all the information how to become a rifleman. Then don't forget, this rifle is not just an upper out there. No, it's a personalized, laser engraved. And I say laser engraved, as you said before, in the U.S. I could have done this in China. It would have cost me probably a fourth of what I pay here. But still, I wanted to keep it all local, at least in the U.S. And is also the laser engraving is in the U.S. All that for $499, and you get also a free magazine that right now I don't see, but it's somewhere. It's a 30 rounds magazine. Since we are in Arizona, it's no problem. And I don't know what to say. Christmas is not there yet, but I feel like Santa, seriously. I mean, this is amazing. And we can still make a good work. I mean, of course, we don't make money like we would sell $3,000 rifle, but guess what? This is for me an act of love. Because how many things I can sell, this is for me, it's not even about the money. It's about, I would like to have a dream, every law-abiding American here, locally especially, since we live here, armed with education and the principle of our Constitution and at least one rifle. If you say, I have a gun, that's fine, but you have the gun to reach the rifle, okay? You need to have a military rifle. And remember something, now there is no excuse. You can buy one for your wife, right? I mean, what do you think about that?
I love it. I love the weight of it. It's not overtly heavy. Everything fits together really nicely. It fits in the palm of your hand really well. I'm really excited to get a chance to go out and shoot it and see what the recoil kick on it is. But being a 223, it shouldn't be too crazy. So as a woman, I feel like this is a rifle that I would buy for myself and carry as my personal rifle.
Yes, this is the beautiful thing that I tell you. By the way, guys, you can watch the videos on freedomrifle.com. There is a link called Testing the Rifles. And you can see this rifle. It shoots like a 22, seriously. And the beautiful thing about the 223 Wild, something that I said always, I learned recently about it, you can shoot safely the 5.56 military NATO, at the high pressure, and also you can shoot the 223. People say, I can shoot that also when I buy the 5.56. That's fine. But what I really like about the 223 Wild, first of all, you have a twist ratio for the barrel that you can shoot also heavier bullets. That's why it's more accurate. That's why normally they use it for competition. So even there are some limitations, the 223 or 5.56, using heavier bullets, you can have much better reach with this rifle. Then another important thing for me was the most beautiful thing that I learned by accident. Because I tell you, originally, when I was working with the factory with this rifle, I was supposed to do 5.56. And then they sent me by accident to 23 Wild. And I said, let me try it out. I did some researches. And one thing I realized, when you shoot normally the cheap Wolf or the brown bear in steel case, with my expensive or more expensive Bushmaster or Armalite, they get kind of jammy, they get kind of weird. This one, it eats them like butter. I mean, I never had a problem. Seriously, if the problem was just the ammo maybe, but never really a problem with extraction. Wow. So and I invite you, seriously, this is not me. I did myself the test. I didn't just put go to freedomrifle.com, testing the rifle. I also shot it in the mud. Something that, of course, I do not recommend because, it can be unsafe. But just to give you an idea, this is for the $499 rifle. You get something that for me has nothing really to feel sorry about, double the price rifle. So I hope pretty soon you can test it, and maybe you can tell me what you think. Huh?
I can't wait. I really, really can. Hopefully, you were talking about bringing us one to be able to test shoot. I hope I'm here so that I get a chance to.
So let me give another good message to the listeners. Guess what? I do this because I'm very confident with the product. You can test shoot this rifle. Okay, just of course you gotta pay the fee for the range or whatever Sam is gonna charge you, and the ammo, bring your ammo, whatever it is. But don't bring reloads, okay? Tell him no reloads, okay?
No reloads, no steel jacket either.
Yeah, it's only when you buy your rifle that you can shoot whatever you want. But I always say no reloads, please, because it's not worth it, seriously, unless you really know what you're doing. But anyway, I'm gonna give an upper at Sam Shooters here, so people can come here, can put, of course, the Plumcrazy Generation 2, because that's the way the rifle is set up, and try this rifle. And then you tell me what you think. Because, at the end of the day, we can talk all day long, but I give you the chance to try it out. Okay? At the same way, I also offer my service as a sort of a love of volunteerism Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But please email me first. Go to lovegunsfreedom.com. You can find the email. And I go there at the Mohave Sportsman Club, and I invite people that already bought the rifle to shoot it together. And also for people that they want to try the rifle, just bring some boxes of ammo, and we shoot it together. I don't know what can we do better than that. This is almost some Francis job, okay?
That sounds like an amazing deal to me.
So, listen, thank you, and I want to give you the floor. Anything else you want to say about Sam Shoot? Any special you got going on?
We've always got specials. I've got cases of ammo right now. If you need ammunition, please come down, give us a call, ask and see if we have what you need. We're located at 2183 North McCulloch Boulevard in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. We're right at the top of the main drag. You can't miss us. Come on down, rent full automatic machine guns, shoot your own pistol, pick up a new one. We'd be happy to serve you. We're open 7 days a week.
Very good. Okay, guys, you're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna. Now we go to the next segment of today. Don't go away.
In this world where everything seems to be going sideways,
When you need things set straight, Zanna Coffee Straight Shot Espresso. Start your day with a bang. The best organic and GMO-free coffee beans from around the world to amplify your senses and enhance love for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Zanna Coffee brings you happiness in every cup. Fair trade, certified, sustainable, organic coffee. That means we do not use slaves. Free Zanna songs with every coffee bag. Find Zanna Coffee at www.zannacoffee.com. www.zannacoffee.com. Don't be cheap. You deserve the best. Get Zanna Coffee at www.zannacoffee.com. Here we go, guys. This is Luca Zanna. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom on KTOX 1340 AM and on United States of the FM network. We're here in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, exactly at Plumcrazy 2 headquarters, okay? And I'm here with Ed Mack, one of the owners, and Ed has been very helpful to share also how is made this very unique lower made of polymer. And by the way, I want to say, guys, everybody, when you buy the Don't Tread on Us rifle with the lower of Plumcrazy 2, you have a lifetime warranty. We talked about that last time. Now, Ed, first of all, what's going on today? What we're going to talk today is about how to maintain the lower. That is kind of a little easier, probably different from the average air lower. Come closer to me, please. Give us some information.
Well, our fire control. Oh, right in here. Our fire controls are made out of a proprietary blend, and they are impregnated with Teflon. There is no need to use any oil. You don't even have to clean them off. You can just wipe them down. Actually, believe it or not, you can actually pull the buffer out and rinse it off if you have to, if it's got mud in it or anything or dirt. What I recommend is just an air hose. Just air hose it out and just kind of work the fire controls, and that's it. You never need to lubricate these ever.
Wow. And that's very true, because I tell you, when I did the test shooting in the mud, by the way, I was amazed how for an AR was pretty tolerant. The tolerance was amazing, you know. And of course, I don't do that often, and I don't suggest you to do that, just in extreme situation. But the point is, it was almost funny. I got the video after we shot it. We made it all muddy. I went to the pump, and we hose it out. I opened it, and I with the water, and I was almost getting, oh my God. And that was amazing. Just washing it up and let it dry, and then it was ready to go. So, any other thing about the trigger? Is this regular trigger groups to replace, or there is some sort of a special techniques?
Well, our trigger group, there's nothing out there like it. Like I said, I don't want to give out the proprietary blend of it, but there is a Delron in there. Delron, Teflon, and some other...
to change it, in case you need to, for example, let's say, replace it. First of all, would you suggest it? Somebody, I heard stories, you know, people, I want to put a regular metal trigger.
Absolutely. It's all mil spec. You can put a metal fire control kit in there, but why would you want to?
Exactly.
I mean, there's no creep in these. These are...
Let me tell you something, and not this is because I'm selling the Don't Tread on Us. And I tell you this, honestly, I don't even care. I've been shooting lately this Don't Tread on Us with the Plumcrazy True Lowers a lot, because I've been testing it. And then I've been closed eyes shooting my Bushmaster or my Armalite, and I don't know. I love the trigger, that this unbelievable, very crispy trigger and fast. I'm telling you, it's a super fast little trigger. Sometimes I had somebody at the range when I was doing fast shooting. It's like, what you got? Are you doing 3-round burst? No, it's just a freaking finger, okay? So I'm very impressed, and I want to congratulate you what you did. Amazing, especially with the budget we're talking here.
Thank you very much, Luca.
So anyway, and by the way, so no oil, but to replace, let's say something happens. Let's say maybe 10 years from now you got a problem with the trigger. You know, it can happen. I mean, everything can break down. What would you suggest? To give you a call, or...
What we ask you to do is you go on our website and you go to our email and basically take a picture of the serial number and a picture of the broken part, and we will go ahead and ship it out. No questions asked.
Wow, this is amazing. I mean, that's really amazing, especially when we're talking about an incredible price. It's not like $1,000 gun, okay? So lifetime warranty on parts too. This is amazing. Listen, anything else you want to say to the people that they are now start to really get excited about the Don't Tread on Us rifle? Anything you want to say to them?
I'm really excited to have Luca on board with this. I actually take my hat off to him, because he is he's actually providing a really decent priced firearm for the public, so everyone else. And I messed up.
No, you did okay, man. We don't even edit. Listen, this is true. It's the most affordable. I tell you, I did a little research. There was a gun shop, by the way, to see sams-shooters. By the way, they're selling out the Don't Trade on Us, and I invite always people to go there. They can buy Don't Trade on Us upper, of course, with the lower Plumcrazy too. But I was looking around. The cheapest thing, and I'm talking about the most affordable thing, not cheap. It's a good quality. A Ruger AR-15, $670, okay? And that's the lowest they have. And we're talking about here $499 for an incredible product that really works, and the video really talks for himself, and all the freebies. So I feel pretty proud about it. This is not just a decent price. This is the most affordable military-grade AR-15 M4 configuration with a bunch of free bonus that not even Christmas.
Absolutely. That's wonderful.
All right, guys. Listen, thank you, Ed. I appreciate your time. And I tell you, I wanted to thank you because I really believe what you did a few years ago when you came out with this concept of a polymer lower. Talking about social justice, this is social justice for me. Everybody can afford now to have a military-grade and incredible, great quality rifle. Thank you. Do you want social justice? Now I give you social justice. The Zana way. Don't trade on us, the Freedom Rifle by Zana. The most affordable military-grade semi-automatic AR-15 rifle in M4 configuration, chambered in .223 Wild that can shoot both 5.56 NATO and .223 Remington. 4 minutes of angle for just $499. Made in the USA. Get your Freedom Rifle now. We need every law-abiding American armed with knowledge and at least one military rifle ready to defend good against evil. With every Don't Trade on Us rifle, you will get free parchment replica of the United States Constitution, free digital CD, Don't Trade on Us, free ebook, How to Become a Rifleman, free t-shirt, Slaves Are Never Armed, I Am Not a Slave, free 30 rounds magazine where allowed by the law, free laser engraved ejection port, Don't Trade on Us, for just $499. Go to www.freedomrifle.com, www.freedomrifle.com. Get your Freedom Rifle now. There we go. We're doing now a test with the lower, the Plumcrazy lower that we have on the Don't Tread on Us rifle, and it's going to be very amazing test. Let me tell you, we're going to run the lower made of polymer with this Humvee. I think it's more than 10,000 pounds car. Now I'm going to ask him to add Plumcrazy. Pretty amazing. I wouldn't do that even with an aluminum lower. I would be freaking out. Okay, let's see. Can the Plumcrazy lower generation 2 be able to handle the weight of an Humvee fully loaded? I say we'll see. I don't want to be too arrogant because I'm pretty shocked if he does it. He's a beast. Yes, you're listening to Love, Guns and Freedom with Luca Zana, and we're here in Havasu. Kind of a warm day. And by the way, just to let you know, guys, we are running it on asphalt. So the lower is going to be positioned on the asphalt, not on some grass or some dirt that you have some sort of, loose game. If you put something on a soft surface, you're not going to have too much pressure, of course. This is a brutal, hot asphalt. I tell you, if it's going to make it, I'm already in love with the Don't Trade on Us rifle and the Plumcrazy 2 lower. But if this is going to go work, if this works, then we have this lower surviving. How many pounds do we have on this Humvee?
Get the serial number so they can see the after effects. They know that
yes.
We didn't replace them with.
Yes.
And so we're at this one is the 5695. These are older ones, 5667.
Okay.
And 5655. So
this is generation 2, of course.
Yes.
Okay. How many pounds you got your Humvee?
These are 11,000-pound truck. It's actually 10,560, but I basically what we've done is we soundproofed it.
Yes.
I'm about 11,000 on this truck now, plus the winch. And
oh my gosh, this is like a tank. This is not anymore a car. I mean, you need a special road. Look at that. Look at that. He's putting under the one tires, and they have 3 lined up. I am afraid to see that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Look, guys. This is the lower from the Don't Tread on Us rifle. Ran over. God help us. Oh my gosh. 11,000 pounds or so. Twice. I'm in shock. I am in shock. Wow. Please show it to me because I'm kind of shocked.
well, there's some dirt on them.
Wow, nothing, not even a scratch.
Serial number.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
That's the
No
serial number.
brakes,
Nothing, not even a scratch.
No.
I mean, I can't believe it. And we got some parts that I was really worried about. This part here. How do you call this part here?
We call it the backstrap area.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that I was really worried about that, but anything could be worrisome, honestly. Not even one. On 3, like new. You know?
Some dirt on them.
And as I said, we were running on some grass. Sometimes I see this video, they run it on grass or dirt that is pretty soft. This is asphalt, and it's pretty brutal. Hot asphalt that doesn't give you any type of leverage, you know, it doesn't give you, the pressure is going to be all the way up. So, excellent job. This is the Plumcrazy Generation 2.
This is the E3.
E3, but it's the same, okay? It's the same thing, guys. And the same lower that you will get on the Don't Tread on Us rifle for just $499. But the lower that you get is complete. This is just the stripped version. You get the complete lowers and the upper for $499. Go to freedomrifle.com and celebrate. This is America, okay? Everybody now can have and will have a rifle. No excuses. And when people say, oh my God, I'm so afraid about the polymer, guess what? Try to do this with your aluminum lower with an Humvee, and then we talk. I tell you, I didn't know that could be possible today. So thank you very much to test it for us. Thank you.
Come and take it. 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 You're gonna like it. You're gonna feel like it's paradise. Come and take it. You're gonna get it. You're gonna taste it. One between your eyes. Come and take it. Come and take it. Come and take it. Come and take it. No more false illusions. Enough of your phony hope. You've stolen our son's future. Your empty words are like dope. If you want our guns, you want our souls. If you want our lives, here we stand in line. Come and take it. You're gonna like it.
Here we go, guys. This is almost the end of hour number 2 with Luca Zanna. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom. You know, yes, I'm pushing a lot this rifle. That's true. Guess what? There are many reasons why. It's not just about the money, honestly. I don't really care. Honestly, there's not much money to make in this rifle. Think about $4.99, and I'm just a small guy. I'm not even like a big company like Remington or Colt or whatever. Think about it. This is an act of love. Seriously. My goal here is is an attempt to get as many as law-abiding Americans armed with knowledge, first of all. Yes, knowledge, because when you get the Don't Tread on Us rifle, you don't get just the rifle. You get also an access to information that I will post every week, new information, how to become a rifleman. That's probably the most important thing, rifle. You can always pick a rifle off the ground somewhere, okay? Yes, you need to have a rifle to train. It's going to be your rifle. But the idea is knowledge is always going to be with you, no matter which rifle you're going to have. So first of all, you will have access at rifletraining.tv to my ebook, How to Become a Rifleman. And I remind you, I'm just an humble student, so I'm not some sort of instructor knows it all. No, I learn, I'm a professional student, and I share what I know. And this is going to be based especially on the marksmanship level, okay? How to qualify for the Army qualification test, being able to achieve at least 4 minutes of angle from sitting, standing, and prone. No benches, just with your sling. So that's the idea. That means at 25 meters, you have to put your group within 1 square inch. Try that out. Get a little black mark or whatever, draw a square inch, put it at 25 meters, 27.2 yards, I guess, and then without scope, without any type of optics, with iron sight, try to put your group inside there. That's the idea. So the idea is to give you education, and of course also a reminder. With the rifle, you don't just get the rifle and the copy, of course, the access to all this information how to shoot a rifleman. Also, you get a copy of the Constitution. Why? This is the most unique country in the world, because this is a right. This is not a privilege. The Second Amendment is a right, like the First Amendment is a right, like the Third and the Fourth Amendment is supposed to be a right. And the Constitution is not to give us rights, but to constrain the government. The Constitution is a contract between we the people and them. It's supposed to work for us. Unfortunately, it's been completely destroyed. But why? Not because these people are evil. Yes, that's part of it, of course. But also because we've been ignorant. It means we did not follow up. We did not even know our rights. And by design, we've been kept ignorant. That's why I want to give you, with every copy of the Don't Tread on Us rifle, you also get a copy of the United States Constitution that looks exactly like the original one, the ancient one, made of parchment. Okay, so that's the idea. So yes, you understand why I am pushing this product. Because first of all, I think it's really a unique, affordable, incredible product. I can't believe it. I put it together. Seriously. And I really, I'm just a regular guy, as I said. To put together such a quality product, you can run over with an Humvee. The lower, it's almost indestructible. I couldn't believe it. And it's so affordable. And I want every law-abiding American, as I said, armed with knowledge and also with at least a rifle. Why? Are you conspiring something, Mr. Zanna? No. I say this is our right, for start. No apology there. We have a God-given right to keep and bear arms, to defend our families, to defend our lives, to defend our homes, and to defend this country, if we have to, from every enemy, foreign and domestic. This is the oath I took when I became an American, naturalized American, the 29th of April, 2005. And I still have chills in my back. And that's why what I'm doing here, that's why I'm on the air. Couldn't care less about the rifle, couldn't care less about to be on the air. This is the way I'm fulfilling my oath. I'm trying to do everything I can to defend this republic. I'm just a regular guy. I'm not Bill Gates. So in my little humble way, I'm on the show. I'm trying to bring you the news and also try to give you the best rifle for the money, for the quality that you can enjoy with you and your family. Now, ready for hour number 3? You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna. And please, share the show. Support the show. Support the station too, because I tell you, I can't believe they let me stay here. I don't care. I would do this with or without the station. I'm on the internet, and the idea is at this point is bigger than me. This is not about anymore the love, guns, and freedom. This is about the message that we have here. So if you want to support me, don't forget, you can also download any of my songs, like the one that you just listened to. Go to zannaart.com, zannaart.com, and find also the t-shirts. Great t-shirts for sale. Thank you. Don't go away. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on United States.fm network.
Have you ever met someone on an online dating site and thought, wow, this guy is perfect for me, or she is simply amazing, only to find out they were hiding a deep, dark secret? They plan to vote for Hillary. FreedomLovers.us was created for singles who want to exchange ideas and a love for freedom. People who are looking for solutions to create and defend freedom in the real world, and at the same time, getting that once-in-a-lifetime chance to find their true soulmate. Whether you are interested in meeting your soulmate, making new friends, networking, or hanging out with that like-minded liberty lover, visit freedomlovers.us. It's the first free dating site and community. So patriots, don't waste your time with other dating sites. FreedomLovers.us is the place where like-minded singles really click.
There we go, guys. This is Luca Zanna. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom on KTOX 1340 AM and on United States.fm network. One of the reasons why I still like to be on the air, and because I'm trying to have fun. But no, it's not even about the fun part. It's because I like really to engage in real debate, in things that normally, probably if you do this at the bar, it would end up nice, because people get crazy. I'm very polite. I mean, by the way, I'm very not violent. But people sometimes when they are in a different environment, they make look at you like almost in a different way. But instead, when we have this opportunity to have a civil conversation about different things that we may disagree, that's exactly who I want on the show. I mean, I want people that we agree, of course, but that's not my main goal. I'm different from the other local stations here that normally all they do, they pander to the drums, to whatever they believe, and they get only the same guests that they always get along and the same party and blah, blah, blah. No, I want exactly the other side. But not because I want to create a controversy or because I want to start to throw tomatoes on when we're on the air. No, because my real goal is to learn from each other. I really believe that is one of the key. If we want to improve as a society, I know that nobody's perfect. I am not perfect. But also that I can maybe learn from somebody, but sometimes I can teach to somebody because we all have different backgrounds. Maybe we know different things. So that's why the goal of this show is to find people that we have at least an honest debate in a civil way. Of course, when it comes down to money, you want to steal my money or you want to put me in jail, and definitely the debate is going to be pretty short, okay? Don't get me there. But anyway, now, I have an incredible guy, because he's not a guy, he's a grown-up man, and also he's a professor. I mean, this guy is studied for real, not like me that was a dropout at the university, okay? So he's a researcher. I don't know if now he's retired, but he's a guy that also is very good into really understanding the basic foundation of our individual rights and also the Second Amendment. He's Professor Dr. Peter Steinmetz. Peter, are you there?
I am here, Luca. Thank you for inviting me.
You're always welcome, by the way. You know that. And sometimes, I hate to type on Facebook. I use Facebook to try to, I don't want to say create controversy, but at least to create an environment where we can debate or put topics out that normally I would like to talk on the show, okay? So there was a topic that I posted a video that somebody already sent it to me previously, was about this scene, I think was in Los Angeles, where they were like, they all, I don't know which street, but anyway, probably downtown, completely in the middle of the street, there was like a huge group of Muslims people praying, and in the video, they were praying politely. I mean, they weren't throwing rocks. Everything was fine, okay? And I said, because I want to be sure that people know where I stand, and I don't hide what I say, it's on the open, because I think before I say things. I said, let me see exactly what I say, the cancer is spreading, okay? And of course, there were a lot of people that, of course, I hate when people start to use on my Facebook, by the way, a violent language. You know, seriously, I unfriended at least 3 this morning, and I post something, because even when I say the cancer is spreading, I didn't say kill them all. I didn't say execution squad or stuff like that, because I believe in peace. I believe that we have the principle of self-defense, but not aggression. I don't want to ever use the violence as first. You know, it's always for me a self-defense. But now, of course, then you came in and you have your opinions about, let's say, this. And we agree on many things, me and you. I tell you, probably we agree 99% of things. Maybe we have just on this one a little bit of a vision of this one. So you say other things. Let's see, first of all, what is your point of view about to have, let's say, an occupation of a public street in front of businesses of any religious group, in this case, of course, Muslim, that pretty much they can also disrupt business. And then we go, of course, specifically, that's why I say cancer keeps growing, because I have a specific problem with one religion. I mean, and then we can keep going. Anyway, I'll give you the floor. Say whatever you want to say. Go ahead.
Well, Luca, I think, my point of view on it is that, this is a conflict and a problem essentially created by public ownership of streets, right? Mm-hmm. So if that was a private street in front of your house that you owned, then, I think it's pretty clear to everyone that you have a right to determine who's there. Mm-hmm. But when we have public streets, of course, then, things become a lot more complicated. And, the sort of system that we've evolved in this country, because we do have a First Amendment, right, which guarantees the right to freedom of religion and freedom of speech, is that people are free, actually, to temporarily block streets for peaceful protests. Mm-hmm. And, the appropriate legal way to do that is you get a permit to do so. I don't think you can be legally out blocking streets without a permit. And, the authorities have to decide, is that a reasonable amount of time that the street is blocked? And, they have to make a number of different concessions there. And as I say, it's sort of a problem that's created in a sense by public ownership of streets. I'm an ultra-libertarian. I think the streets should be sold. Mm-hmm. But if we are going to have public streets, then it does seem to me we have to have some reasonable rules about how they are used. Mm-hmm. And one potential use is for people to, express their political opinions. A very similar thing applies, Luca, of course, to airports, right, which are also publicly owned public places. Mm-hmm. And people such as myself can, in fact, carry an AR-15 rifle as a form of political protest in such an area, legally and peacefully.
You are the guy in Phoenix. Everybody remember that the story was in the news, okay? You are the man that did that, and I also commend you for exercising your rights in such a hostile environment. Surrounded by a multitude of...
But, it's a similar thing, right? And we go down there now occasionally, when I'm not carrying a rifle, and we want to hand out literature about the TSA because, of course, I think the TSA is just a complete waste of time, and it actually is related to what we're talking about today in a sort of indirect way. But
now, let me go back 1 second to this specific, because, I agree. The point is a public street, and, of course, we have a First Amendment. We're supposed not to have a permit to exercise our First Amendment. That's, where I stand on this one. I'm completely with you. There is also one thing, though, a basic law, okay, that my right ends when your rights start, okay? So you have a First Amendment, that's true, but I also have the right to exercise my private business. So let's say, for example, this situation may be once in a while. Maybe this was a specific once event. I don't know exactly in Los Angeles, okay? But I tell you in Italy, where I was from, okay? The city of Milan, okay, or many other cities now around Italy, doesn't matter. In some neighborhoods, every day, 5 times a day, and you have no option, you are surrounded by probably 500 or more hundreds of people that 5 times a day, they will pray in front of your store, they will disrupt your business, they will disrupt your life, and that's not even the main point. The point is, unfortunately, we need to go back to the scriptures, because I believe, honestly, I don't talk about religion on this show normally, okay? I keep my private religion for myself, okay? So I'm not a bigot. I'm not here to tell you what to do. You do whatever you want. I don't care. But I've been studying religions in general. And with all the faults that every religion may have, I tell you, there is one religion only that really still I don't find any type of, let's say, integration, especially with our basic Bill of Rights, it is the religion of peace, as they want to call it. It is not about peace. It's about submission. Even the most moderate Muslim that today may be moderate, I tell you, is proven in every society. And I'm going back to Italy now, okay, that once they have the number, to reach that magic number, that's why I hate the word democracy, because it's so scary. 51% of the people can vote your rights out. So now, back to that. When I say it's a cancer, I really believe that, because it's not like the Hinduist religion, they mind their business, or even the Christians, sometimes they can be a pain in the butt, but this is a violent situation, can completely explode when they reach the magic number. Look what happened now, what's happening in Sweden. Look what's happening in Finland. And this is pretty much it's not about being a good moderate Muslim or an extreme Muslim. Or you are a Muslim or you are not. You cannot pick and choose everything. So that's why I was saying that, because regardless that they have the right to, of course, exercise the First Amendment, when you start to have 5 times a day, every day, in front of your business, hundreds of people, and by the way, they're going to start to say, by the way, you're supposed not to sell alcohol here. Oh, by the way, we don't like the way your wife, she's dressed. Oh, by the way, we don't like even your cross out there. I mean, have you ever been in an Arabic Muslim country, Pete?
Only very briefly, actually.
Where?
I was actually on the West Bank for a bit.
Okay.
I mean, I only was there several hours, so
okay.
I couldn't really, adequately assess the situation. But Luca, look, I think you and I would agree. I would certainly agree with you that obviously if it gets to the point where people are starting to try to dictate what other people's choices in religion are and so on, this has gone too far. And we're not really supposed to have a true democracy in this country, right? We have a republic, which means that we have rights as individuals, which the majority cannot vote away. Mm-hmm. Right? That's what we're supposed to have.
Exactly.
Now, I think, if that starts to seriously be taken away and so on, I think you and I will probably be on the same side of, the uprising to change this, right? Clearly, if things go that far, that's a very serious problem. But I think the question that people are faced with today is sort of, are all people who claim to be Muslims, right? Is this sufficiently dangerous that we should be actually taking any steps right now to change things, or should we just stick with kind of our republic with rights, and when people start to encroach on those rights, then of course we have to stop them.
No, I agree with that. Listen, I'm not going to try to do any type of preventive punishment to anybody, because the bottom line is. Till you don't break the law, you're supposed not to be punished like, the movie with Tom Cruise, they can read what you're going to do in the future. Yeah, right. Okay, that's pretty much the next step they're trying to do to all of us, by the way. And also, I'm not naive. You're talking to somebody here that knows very well that 9/11 was a fraud. So now, I'm not the type of person to say, oh my God, bomb them all. Oh my God, we got to go there so they don't come here. No, this is a part of the globalist. It was a setup. So the problem is that intentionally, they created disruption, the globalists in the Middle East, so they can import millions of, let's say, this ethnic group. It's not about ethnicity, it's about religious belief, to disrupt, because they really believe in order out of chaos. So this is not something me just saying, oh my God, we got to really have the Muslim is their problem. No, the Muslim, they are pawns used by the globalists as this sort of scare tactics. After all, we got to now live like slaves, because supposedly we had 19 people with the box cutters that, they made the 9/11 by themselves, of course. And then
and so we have the TSA, right? And we all have to submit. I mean, this is my concern, right? Is that the whole sort of Islamophobia, if I might call it that, right? It can be used, right, by governments to try to frighten the population into giving up their civil liberties. I mean, isn't that the oldest trick in the book?
They're doing that, and I believe that completely with you. But at the same time, as much as I completely, I am the guy saying on the radio, 9/11 was a fraud. At the Pentagon, there was no freaking airplane, guys. Building 7 fell down out of magic. Wake up. And there is a list. You can write a book, okay? But this is not the topic now. So said that is a fraud, and they're using this as some sort of put us in submission. Still, I believe this is a fact. We got to look at history. Unfortunately, the Muslims, if you look at back since the creation of the message with the Prophet Muhammad and what he used to do, read the books. It isn't about just an archaic book. This book is exactly what they read today, and they really must follow it. It was a man based on violence, submission, rape, and then let's say
but there's a lot of old things in these old religious texts, right? So the question, if you ask me, if you say, well, do we need to worry about this, right? Then I would say, well, so what are the views of most people who are Muslim, right? And I think I sent you some links.
I need to check them out. I need to check them out. But the problem is,
it turns out that over 90% of Muslims don't agree. Okay, with the idea of these terrorist attacks and this sort of violent jihad. Now, does that make them not strict adherents to the Quran? I guess maybe it does, right? Just like Pete, not everybody who's a Catholic is a strict adherent to everything the Pope says.
No, I understand. And at least I have some friends in Italy that they were born Muslim, but these people, they were the coolest people. We could have a beer together and no big deal, okay? Nobody told me to remove my crucifix, okay? That's not the problem. The problem, though, that if you are a Muslim for real, that's what they're supposed to be. But even worse, we don't need to get all the way to terrorists. We go back to impose their morals on us. That's, for me, I freak out about every religion. They can try to do that. That's
good you say every religion, because, I have some Southern Baptists and a couple of other people who try to come by my house all the time and convert me.
No, at least they don't convert you, though, with a scimitar or with a gun pointed at your face. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. I understand that.
But the majority of Muslims also don't agree in the application of violence to try to convert people.
But you got to look at now numbers, okay? The majority of, you're right, probably I'm sure many people, they will find a way to vote in a way that you're going to be compliant to their laws. Once they have the number, Sharia law, it's their goal. That's what he's saying. I mean, now
but that's contrary to our Constitution, right? So we have other. I mean, here's my question to you, though.
Yes,
Luca. So if you and I are both concerned, obviously, about the loss of liberty in the United States.
Yes.
And we are both actually pretty big advocates for liberty for everyone, I think. And do you think that the small number of Muslims that we have in this country right now, and given the nature of that religion and its appeal or lack thereof to people in the United States, do you think that's a bigger threat, or do you think the government induced, right, terror and restrictions on our civil liberties are a bigger threat? Which of those two is a bigger threat?
No, they are all part of the same situation. The government is there and is coordinating these. Okay, let's put it this way. First of all, this country is supposed to be a melting pot, okay? Supposed to be that everybody, we got a little bit of every race, a little bit of every religion, a little bit of every part of the world. There is an assimilation, and there is not a specific group taking over another group. That's what it used to be. And especially it takes some time to assimilate. So no problem with that. I think if you start to have some sort of organic way to let people come, but in a way that everybody's vetted in the same way, everybody gets some sort of time to assimilate, and there is no any specific group taking over another one, we'll be fine. But now, unfortunately, exactly you say the keyword, the government, or whatever government it is creating this problem. The Muslims didn't come all the way here by a huge number. By the way, the number is increasingly dramatically. Just to give you an idea, the Syrians, refugees, as they want to call them, they're not only they're not being vetted, 95% of them, they're all Muslims. And there are a lot of Christians that have been left out. And mostly they are men without even families. So look what's happening right now. It's not a conspiracy in Finland, in Germany. Sweden now is the capital #1 country in rape. It used to be one of the most beautiful places. I'm not talking about the socialist part, but you were at least able to walk around. The crime was very low. Women, they were educated and also free to do whatever they wanted to do. Now it's I have friends in Sweden. I have friends in Norway. They're living barricading themselves in their homes, and so in Germany. But the point you say, right, who is creating that? The government. Because they want us now to put in this situation of fear and against each other. Now,
and they also want to disarm us.
Exactly.
Okay, so that there are ridiculous ads in Sweden about how to use your mittens and say no to rape. I mean,
yes.
it's like get a 38. I mean,
listen, exactly. This is true, but this is exactly what they're doing. They're using this as a instrument of fear to put us in more submission, and then they will create a crisis. I mean, they're already talking about, for example, ISIS is here. I'm sure it's here. We let them in. So next time ISIS is going to do something. By the way, ISIS was created by the CIA. Everybody knows that. But the point is, yes, then we're going to have martial law because ISIS was here. My solution is very simple. Let's go back to the principle that we're supposed to have a melting pot. There is no any special chosen race or chosen religion. Everybody who wants to come to America, we must respect some quota, and we must have a time of assimilation and vetting, so at least we can be screened. And when we assimilate, even if you're from another background, let's say you come from whatever, Middle Ages country or whatever, you're going to start to understand the basic concept of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and you can do at your place whatever you want, unless there is violence and coercion. But at the same time, you understand when we're in public, we all respect each other. If I want to wear a cross, you want to wear a turban, it's fine with me. But the moment that you tell me that my cross is offensive, we have a problem here. That's the bottom line. Or maybe I cannot drink alcohol, or maybe my woman cannot be going around in bikini.
Right. Well, when people start to try to enforce their views on others, obviously there's a very serious problem there. I agree with you.
And that's the problem. I tell you, in Rome, I have a friend of mine who went back to a neighborhood where you grew up together around there, okay? You cannot walk anymore there unless you are part of the religion, seriously, and you behave according to them. If you go around drinking a beer, by the way, in Rome we can drink a beer while we walk, they throw rocks at you. Seriously. Seriously.
That's awful. Yeah,
it's awful. And the police can't do anything. Of course, you can't have a gun either, but that's another story. Anyway, I'll give you the floor. Go ahead.
But I think, one of the interesting things to me about this issue is that, I wonder to what extent people just get to America and realize it's pretty good here, and there's no reason to really be trying to impose these other things on people, Sharia law or whatever, because there haven't been. I mean, if you think about how trivially easy it is, say, to sidestep the TSA, right, and defeat their stupid little security theater and actually attack an airplane or, blow up a bomb in the line waiting to be screened by the TSA, right? The TSA obviously can't protect that, right, because you're waiting in line to be screened by them.
Yeah.
Okay. So it'd be very easy for people to execute a lot of these attacks, and yet we don't see a lot of attacks.
Well, listen,
either our policing is really good, maybe our policing is really good, or there just aren't that many people around who want to do that sort of thing.
No, let me tell you, I'm more afraid about a pack of wild bees from Africa killing me than a terrorist attack in the U.S., okay?
Well, you're very rational there because the odds of being killed by a bunch of bees from Africa probably are quite a bit higher than being killed in a terrorist attack.
I don't have that type of fear. Or going to, let's say, on the highway, if I go to the highway in Phoenix, that would be probably more dangerous, definitely, okay? But,
yes.
So, but what I'm really concerned, and this is not like a conspiracy, this is something unfortunate that can really happen. It's happening already in many communities, in many states, in many little towns, especially looking now in Germany, looking in Sweden, in Italy, when this is not like something that we are used to it, and there is no logic. You're right. You come here, you're supposed to be happy, enjoy this new opportunity you have, and that's what a normal person would do. Unfortunately, when you grow up and you are brainwashed since you were a child, that you have a duty to conquer, or by the sword or by the penis, the rest of the world and submit it. Because that's their goal, to create a world caliphate. That's it. I know it's hard to believe, but I tell you, this stuff, it's real. And you see it every day. So that's my problem. And they come with a cultural background, maybe not all of them, but all you need to get is 10% of them out of 100 millions, out of 20 millions, we have a problem. And that's why I said my only solution would be to start to say, hey, there is no special group. We all should be treated the same, in a way that if you want to come to America, you need to be vetted, you need to be screened like I was screened, and I wasn't coming from the Middle East, I was coming from Italy, okay? And I was screened pretty heavy. I had to do a lot of things. At the same time, I had the time to assimilate. Took me 7 years to at least to try to improve whatever I needed to improve to understand what's going on. That's the point. This is America, this is no more Italy. So the same story is supposed to be to a young man or a young woman, wherever they're from. Hey, this is no more Iran, this is no more Iraq, wherever you're from, this is America. So let's spell it out. You got your religious belief at home, that's fine. But the Bill of Rights is the first thing that we got all together, and it's going to unite us. If you don't like that, pack your stuff, and we give you the ticket back. That's
well, I think it's interesting because, of course, you're actually an immigrant to the country. I myself am only 2 generations off the boat. Mm-hmm. And, my own view is that actually we should go even more back to the way it used to be than even what you're proposing, in the sense that it used to be that people were welcome to come to this country, provided that, they didn't have some major communicable disease, right? And provided they weren't immediately going to end up on the poor rolls, okay? Now it's more complicated now because, of course, we have welfare and, we've got all these other problems. But, if you're a law-abiding person, right, and as you say, you're willing to respect the Bill of Rights and some of our basic conventions about the country, you don't have a major communicable illness or something, and you're not going to end up being a charity case right away, what's the problem with somebody coming here?
Oh, I agree with you. The problem that now...
That's what this country. Immigrants built this country. We all tend to forget that.
I agree with you. There's only one thing you said very important. We are no more what we used to be, that there was no welfare. Now you have a situation that, first of all, number one, that the way we have it set it up, the first thing they can do is apply for welfare. And number two, we have also another thing. We're supposed to be a republic, and we used to be a republic, but by de facto now, according also to this paid off, supposed to be presidents, every president, the last 4 presidents, democracy, they try to brainwash us. That's exactly why they want that, because they want to have this sort of masses of uneducated people from other society that they really believe that 51% of them can dictate to us individuals whatever we're supposed to do according to their beliefs. And we know very well that this elite can control the media, can control the votes with the diabolic and all this machine. So the democracy, it's a very, very, very good thing for them, because that's the way they're going to enslave us. So that's the problem.
And I think you're right. What they want, right? And it's very good to have a large percentage of the population dependent upon some sort of government payment, right? Because then they are afraid to do anything that might upset the way they are, essentially surviving by collecting these government payments, right? So of course the politicians love welfare, they love Social Security, they love all these entitlements.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it makes people dependent on them.
Yes, anyway, so this is pretty much what I want to say. For me at this point, America may be still not at the same level of Europe. Let me tell you something. Maybe, I don't know if you went lately, you went to Europe. It's gone. Seriously, it's gone. By design. And there was a Kalergi plan. It was nothing new. It was in the 30s. It was a plan of the globalists to destroy the sovereignty of every national state, not only politically or economically, but also culturally. And that's why what we see now, it is not a sort of refugee program, but it's an invasion. And it was even an invasion about people that somehow have the same type of basic cultural or social beliefs. No, it's a completely disruption of a group, unfortunately, that is used, in my opinion, as a Trojan horse by design to disrupt and to create chaos and take over. I'm telling you, Europe, you cannot go anymore in some part of Italy and be safe if you are not a Muslim. That's a fact. After all, Italy, you like it or not, I was born Catholic, but I'm not Catholic anymore. But the point is, in every school used to be a crucifix. You don't need to be a Catholic. That's the way Rome was, Italy was since the beginning. It's more, for me, a cultural fact. Now they are pretty much removing crosses out of the schools because Muslims are getting offended. That's the reality.
Well, and that's this ridiculous, no one can ever be offended. That if you're offended, I have to change my behavior. Come on. It's even spread to our colleges now.
I know, my friend, but this
where the professors can't say certain things because it might be a microaggression and trigger some bad feelings in the students. It's like you're supposed to go to college to learn about the world.
Exactly.
And be exposed to other ideas.
This is exactly why they want to do this, because they want to completely destroy also our First Amendment. That's not the part. Listen, I want to say thank you again. I'm sometimes sorry if I don't engage much on Facebook, but I write to have people here on radio so we can talk and we can have a better opportunity to also express ourselves. And probably sometimes, Facebook, we don't even come out all the way we want to say things. Sometimes it's difficult to express the right concept we have. Listen, I want to give you the floor, 2 more minutes, whatever you want to say, TSA, Muslims, whatever. Go ahead.
Well, thanks, Luca. I think actually I've touched a little bit on how the TSA is in some sense sort of related to this, right? That essentially the government tries to make us think that we should be so scared of a terrorist attack, and yet your actual chances of dying in a terrorist attack are 1 in 20 million years of life. Mm-hmm. So, by comparison, your chances of drowning in the bathtub are 1 in 800,000, as ridiculous as that may seem. So I have to agree with you completely that, it's sort of people want to make people feel afraid, and if you're a politician, it's a good way to sort of turn around and then claim, oh, we need all this extra security. And unfortunately, that includes some of the TSA, right, where we have this ridiculous security theater going on at airports. So, as you know, that's one of my long-running nemesis. I keep working on trying to get people to come down and help us gradually protest and gradually change people's attitudes about it, because I'm afraid it's going to be a long time. But it sounds like, in terms of the original subject matter, that we're both pretty much in agreement that we have to continue to defend people's First Amendment rights, although obviously you have some other concerns there.
Yes. And as I said, I stay behind every word. When I say, unfortunately, it's a cancer, regardless, of course, they have their freedom of speech, they still believe that if it's not if it's not like, let's say, as I said, every group, I am afraid of every group could take over, but specifically when I have a group that has some special religion based on violence, I'm freaking out. And I'll tell you, there are the groups that in the past they used to have violence, okay? I mean, if you don't like, let's talk about, the what is the name? The LSD, the LDS, excuse me, no LSD. LDS.
I don't think the LDS likes to take LSD.
Okay, my point is, in the past, when you were in Utah 100 years ago, okay, and you were wanting to live like a free American, not according to their beliefs. Let's say I wanted to have a bottle of wine in the middle of, LDS church or whatever, LDS town. Probably would have thrown a rock at me. I'm sure about it. Probably it would be.
Or worse, okay? I
think. So this is not the point, but that's now different, okay? This is not happening. Now, unfortunately, in their books, in their society around the world, this is still their normal day. Okay, so anyway, that's it, guys. But I'll tell you, if you disagree with me, I love you. I really want you on the show. Let's be, we can have a conversation. I'm not calling you names, and maybe we can learn from each other. That's all I'm saying, okay? And sometimes I may be wrong, too. Don't get me wrong. And I love when you prove me wrong. So if you want to go on the show, call me, or not even call me. Send me an email. Go to lovegunsfreedom.com, and I'll write you back, and I'll bring you up. Hey, thank you very much, Peter. Have a wonderful weekend, okay?
Okay, you too, Luca. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right, that was good. I enjoyed, and I tell you, this is exactly why we're here, okay? We got to do this in the right way. So, if you want to come on the show, something I said that you don't like, please, just send me an email. Now, little break, and we go with more news and more exciting thing. I may also give you a surprise after this. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna.
Don't tread on us.
Do you want social justice? Now I give you social justice. The Zanna way. Don't trade on us, the Freedom Rifle by Zanna. The most affordable military-grade semi-automatic AR-15 rifle in M4 configuration, chambered in 223 Wild, that can shoot both 5.56 NATO and 223 Remington. 4 minutes of angle for just $499, made in the USA. Get your Freedom Rifle now. We need every law-abiding American armed with knowledge and at least one military rifle, ready to defend good against evil. With every Don't Tread on Us rifle, you will get free parchment replica of the United States Constitution, free digital CD, Don't Tread on Us, free ebook, How to Become a Rifleman, free t-shirt, Slaves Are Never Armed, I Am Not a Slave, free 30 rounds magazine where allowed by the law, free laser engraved ejection port, Don't Trade on Us, for just $499. Go to www.freedomrifle.com, www.freedomrifle.com. Get your Freedom Rifle now. Okay, guys, we are back. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on KTOX 1340 AM and on UnitedStates.fm network. Now, today, it's a special day for many reasons. Every day is a special day, seriously. I'm alive. It's a special day, because if I was dead, probably wouldn't be a day at all. So let's be happy. And the reason why I'm really happy about this show, because I tell you, it brings me memory. You know, I used to listen to KTOX since the beginning, since I came here to this country, excuse me, to the county, not to the country. But, and I tell you, I like the format, you know, I like the format because I think this station used to be for sure one station that you could say anything you wanted. And many times I didn't agree with the guys, for example, Dave Hayes, you know, but still I respect him. At least he always give me the opportunity to say whatever I wanted. So much that he brought me on the air. I couldn't believe it. Not only my accent sucks and my grammar is poor, but also we have many times a different point of views. But still, that's exactly, I think, what made KTOX great. And besides Dave, of course, another person really always respected, even sometimes we don't agree always. It's what used to be, you know, the other side of Dave. You know, Frank Costigan, that used to be on the air not that long ago. And I tell you, I'm glad today that he's here with me because I'm still friend with Frank. And, of course, we have Facebook friends, and he launches me all these different tags, and he brings me into these different topics. Sometimes I get slapped around from different people with different ideas, but I enjoy it. It's fun. Hey, this is about freedom of speech, okay? That's why I say always, please, you know, calm down, relax. After all, it's just a difference of opinion, okay? The only thing I don't want to be... I'm a little worried when you have a different opinion, when you're going to get my money, and that's I have a problem, or you want to get my freedom. Then we have a problem. But beside that, we can disagree on everything. Anyway, Frank, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Nice to hear you.
Nice to hear. Nice to hear. Very good. See, first of all, I want to give you the floor. You know, you are a veteran, and for sure you're more veteran than I am here. I'm learning still. Whatever you want to talk, you know, you're welcome to bring it. Then I have a topic I would like to touch with you. But I would like to give you the microphone, whatever you want to say.
Well, I miss being on KTOX. I miss having a microphone because there's so many issues that come up that need to be talked about. And I find that, you know, it frustrates me because for almost 8 years, I had the microphone at KTOX. And now I see stories and I see things that develop based on reporting that we did years ago. All of a sudden come to light again. Like today, I was informed that Show Low Fire Department, somebody was just arrested and indicted for a $1.8 million embezzlement out of fire department funds.
Wow.
And I was talking about that same issue with that same department over 2 years ago.
Wow, that's true. It's true, guys. And, many things you were talking, you and Dave, I must give you credit. You know, I mean, way before, ahead of the curve. I mean, you were right on the spot on many topics. Unfortunately, I mean, like I say, you know, I wish to be wrong many times when I say things that I don't like to hear. But the same story with you guys. You know, you were right on many topics. And now, unfortunately, they're all coming out to be real and true. You know, and I tell you, I miss that part of KTOX too. You know, I don't want to start to bash down, you know, the station. But I tell you, one thing I tell you, I used to listen to you in the morning, and there was a different show. Let's put it this way. And I'm sure everybody got their way to do the show. But I like when KTOX was completely free to say whatever they wanted to say. You know, that's all I can say, I guess. You know.
Yeah. Well, we did say whatever we wanted, but it was all based on truth.
No, that's what I meant. I mean, you weren't trying to talk about hot air. You had your own facts, information, I'm telling you. And I understand. Listen, there is also a reality that, unfortunately, for the people who needs to pay the bills at the end, this is a machine that if every month you don't put enough fuel, sooner or later it's going to stop. And there's a small market after all. And unfortunately, the truth sometimes can hurt. And unless you have a good base of, let's say, people who really support you, like David was trying to do, you know, to try to get subscriptions. So people don't need to rely, I mean, the station doesn't need to rely on sponsors. I tell you, I realized that myself, you know, when I'm looking for sponsors, I used to look for sponsors. Then you got to say, watch what you say. And I don't want to do that. That's why I started to create my own sponsors, you know, my own products. I got the coffee going, I got the rifle going, and whatever I can do out there, you know. So I don't need to rely on anybody. But please continue. I talk always too much. Go ahead, please.
Well, you know, it's like right now there's so much going on politically, locally. I'd love to have a microphone every day. Mm-hmm. Like the sheriffs, the contest for sheriff in Mohave County.
Okay.
It's, you know, it's lively. It's there's many people running for the office And now it's getting to dirty politics.
Oh, yeah. This is a very nasty campaign. I'm telling you, I've been following. Probably I tell you something. I've been trying to do my job. Even I'm not a reporter, I'm a commentator. But I've been trying to do this very seriously. And I've been trying to touch things that no other media wanted to touch, at least first. Like the Schuster situation, the allegation against Schuster. And then, of course, the situation with this lawsuit against the Merriman. So I tell you, it's very nasty. I agree with you. But what do you think? Why this is so nasty? I mean, after all, it's just a job. It doesn't even pay that much. I mean, compared to other jobs around here, probably it's a very good job. But what do you think?
Well, I think it's a matter of control.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain segments of the community that want to control all law enforcement, including the sheriff. The sheriff is the only local law enforcement position that's an elected position where the people have a choice.
Yeah.
And Merriman happens to be a very popular candidate right now.
Yeah.
So, there's a smear campaign going on that's headed in her direction with this frivolous lawsuit that's going on. And the thing that really amazes me is this lawsuit is based on comments on Facebook.
Yeah.
On social media.
Yeah.
I mean, this lawsuit can't go anywhere. If this is a successful even getting to before a judge, I'll be amazed.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have to worry about every comment you make on Facebook, there goes your First Amendment rights.
It is true. It is true. And on top, another thing, this is not like, let's see, who initiated this comment. It wasn't like, oh my God, out of the blue they attack you. I mean, somebody, in this case, the party suing, Mr. Collins, according to what I read on this lawsuit, he's the one that on his Facebook started to launch a specific allegation against candidate Merriman. So he's the one said about specific things. And when you say something about something in the public forum, I mean, I'm sure you expect to have people coming back at you. That's part of the game, okay? So
that's true.
That's normal. And number two, maybe there are also some facts, I'm sure, and more important, something that, I'm not a lawyer, as I said, but I studied law when I was in Italy. Before I was coming to America, I was almost finishing my degree at the university. And I remember, the association, I mean, here, the connection. We have a volunteer, not paid, not on the payroll, just a volunteer, like many other candidates have millions of volunteers. Look now at how many volunteers might have Bernie Sanders or Ted Cruz or whatever, okay? Now, because the volunteers say something stupid, maybe not even stupid, we don't know, you go after the candidate. I mean, at that point, everybody would be pretty much scared. You couldn't trust anybody. Somebody's calling here. Let's see what they want. Anyway, keep doing, please. Continue that.
Okay. Well, I was involved in reading that Facebook comment made by Fort Mohave Dental,
mm-hmm.
and it kind of took me by surprise because, I knew something about it. And Corey Merriman, the issue that he's talking about was 7 years old,
mm-hmm.
where there was some kind of a dispute. There was a complaint filed. Corey was the responding deputy that went to take care of the situation. She took the information, left, and later her supervisor ordered her to go back there and make that arrest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then it went before the county attorney's office. They decided to prosecute the case.
Mm-hmm.
Then it got into the judicial system, and it was there 8 months before the case was dismissed.
Yes.
And now he's claiming it was a false arrest or whatever. She was doing her job like any other deputy or police officer would do, following the instructions of their supervisor, who's more experienced in the elements of violations of law. So it wasn't like she had a choice whether to go down there and do it. But she did what she was told. She operated within the letter of the law, which is what you are paying these people to do.
Yes. And
let the court sort it out.
Exactly. I mean, number one. Number two, it wasn't even just arresting somebody for what they read, just because they say, okay, he told me to do that. There was some evidence after reviewing a videotape, the surgeon told her to do that. So my point is, first of all, there are some, I don't know exactly when how many years, I forgot the name in English, when there are so many years before even you can pursue civilly and also criminally something. I forgot the name. Help me out, please.
Statute of limitation.
Yeah, exactly. Statute of limitation, number one. I don't even know that, but that's also another level. You are doing a specific job as an officer. Now, just because, by the way, there was also some evidence, was even just some crazy thing. And 7 years later, 6 years later, you come back with that. I mean, it's kind of interesting. But at that point, we'll see how this judicial system, Mohave County, works. Let's see even if it's going to court. What do you think? Who's going to be the judge?
I think it's going to get dismissed, or if it goes to trial, it won't be till after the election. I think it was purposely filed when it was filed in order to disrupt the election and to throw a shadow over her candidacy. But I don't think it's actually working. I think it's actually strengthened her position.
I think so too, because if you have a little bit of time and desire to know the truth, you read the facts like you're talking 7 years ago and all these things. It's pretty much, come on. And I'm not here even, as a position when I'm on the air, I don't push anybody. I'm not endorsing anybody. All I want to bring the facts, at least what I look at the facts that they are provided to me. I'm not an investigator. I'm just a regular guy that does 3-hour Sunday show, okay? But whatever facts they give me, I put them out and let the people decide. And of course, I got my opinion to my mind too. But you gotta watch it now, man. What you're saying, you may be sued too. Because maybe you're offending somebody now.
I'm right here.
Seriously, this is...
But on that particular issue, that was clear back around February 21st, when I was reading them on Fort Mohave Dental's site.
Yeah.
And I questioned some of the things that were being said, and I suddenly got blocked. So I wasn't allowed to continue to see it or voice my opinion.
I understand.
And then all of a sudden I hear about this lawsuit. And I also have seen where this particular dentist is eagerly supporting another candidate.
Yeah, that's on the open. It's on his website. By the way, you must give me credit at least. I'm trying to do my job. But you inspire me a lot. I tell you, when I used to follow your news you used to do, I always found in you a lot of integrity. Even when we had things we may not agree 100%. So I tell you, I'm trying to do my little job, and I think always about you when you were doing your reporter job. And I tell you, one thing at least that we got out, KTOX was the first one to break with my show, this news. No other media was touching it. And just the Herald News in Havasu touched it like a week or 10 days later. So that's pretty much the story. Now, let's talk about something that today you tagged me. You put me almost in trouble with this interesting young lady, Rain Bewens. She's a nice lady, by the way. I like her. She seems like a smart lady. Of course, she has a little bit of a stern approach on things. But the point was this post that she put out. And let me read it. My English is not that good when I read, but I'm trying, okay? And the post says that looks like Florida has a sheriff like Arizona has. And this is a Polk County, Florida sheriff, Grady Judd. And this is a statement out of this county sheriff. He says, quotes, "You kill a policeman, it means no arrest, no Miranda rights, no negotiations, nothing but as many bullets as we can shoot into you, period." Honestly, I said, wait a second, this is BS. First of all, maybe she misunderstood me. If somebody's killing you, in the moment that they kill you or they're trying to kill you, you have, I don't care if you're police or not, you have the right, the human right to defend yourself. That's a fact. And I agree with that completely. Somebody's trying to kill you, I'm sorry. At that point, it's a straight fight, okay? But the way I read this, and correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes my English is a little limited. They say if you kill a policeman, it means no arrest, no Miranda rights. That means no negotiations. Let's say this guy, for example, say, okay, allegedly I killed somebody. And we know that sometimes, till we don't have a court of law, a due process, allegedly, because maybe we don't know the whole story. Maybe also that is innocent. Normally you're innocent until proven guilty. At least the way should be. But my point is, if somebody's trying to surrender, what means that now the deputy can become the executioner and the judge at the same time? Because that's the way I read this post out of this county Florida sheriff, Mr. Judd. And then, of course, this lady on Facebook started to say that, what am I talking? Why even I'm here? And then, of course, she calmed down a little bit. You put a couple good words about me, and she got a little nicer to me. But then the point, don't you think I was making a good point? I mean, I understand if somebody's trying to kill you, there is no excuse. You stop the threat. But once somebody stop doing the alleged crime, as I said, the crime is alleged till we're proven guilty, I don't think no sheriff or no deputies have the right to be a judge and to execute and shoot as many bullets as they wish. What do you think about that? After all, you were a policeman.
Yeah, I was. I was even a chief of police. Yeah. But when I read that, I thought, this can't be right. Because we're taught and we teach, you don't allow your emotions to get involved in a case. Okay? The crime, it's against the law. It's a crime. And you deal with it in a business manner. You can't run off half-cocked with your emotions and make statements like that sheriff did. That we're not going to give you a chance. We're not going to let you surrender. We're not going to give you Miranda rights. We're going to shoot you.
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody, a responsible person in law enforcement, ever talk like that.
Exactly. I mean, we have due process or we don't. Because after all, we don't know the whole story. Maybe could be even one chance in a million, or maybe more than that, according to what we see the latest news, then maybe that civilian, for me they're all civilians, even the police is a civilian, but now in this world they think they are different. But let's say the citizen, maybe he has the right to defend himself even from men in uniform. I mean, did you see the video that I posted? That unfortunately, I know that is 1 in a million, but still, they are coming out. It can happen. That Walter Scott death, that video that shows the guy that was shot in the back while he was running from the sheriff, or the deputy. And then, of course, he was trying to hide it, but he was caught on camera. So I don't think anybody deserves to be executed, period. Especially by a peace officer. That's my point I was trying to make. But of course,
you're not supposed to be able to disturb the peace of a peace officer.
Of course.
Supreme Court's ruled on that. You give up the right to be disturbed, to have your peace disturbed when you put on the badge.
Yeah, no, I understand.
You put yourself in that position.
Yeah.
So you have to control yourself.
Exactly.
And you have to abide by the law, and you have to be an example.
Exactly.
You don't have to allow yourself to be injured or killed.
Exactly.
But you don't have to use excessive force either.
Or be the executioner. I mean, that's why we have a judge and a jury, after all. And this is, for me, it was pretty much simple situation, And as I said, if somebody's trying to harm you and put you in jeopardy, yes, you have the right. I don't care if you're an officer or not. As a human being, as a citizen, we have the right of self-defense. But must be justifiable. We must follow how much really threat. I mean, somebody just calling your names, you can't shoot them, okay? But somebody's putting your life in jeopardy with the immediate consequence. And you have no other...
what we taught and what we were taught in the police academy is there has to be 3 factors in order to pull your trigger.
Go ahead, please tell us.
First of all, it has to be legally right. Has to be, that means it has to be within the law. Second, it has to be morally right. It means accepted by the community.
Yes.
And third, the most important, it has to be necessary.
Yes.
And you can have 1 and 2, but do you really have number 3?
Yes. No, I understand.
So, I mean, you have to, and all those things have to be going through your mind, in that split-second decision.
That's good.
But
that's good.
That's why we train so hard.
Yeah. And
just like, you train with your weapon all the time. It's become second nature to you.
Yeah, but also you first start with your mind and your soul, because you say something important, morally. And also, you got to live the rest of your life with that. Not just, of course, in front of the jury and the law of the man, but also with your consciousness, I mean, that's the most important thing, too, for me. And, of course, unavoidable. I mean, can I avoid that? Can we find... Normally, the good law-abiding person who's a gun owner is the less troublemaker is possible. Is the person that understands the responsibility and wants to avoid that fight. That's the way I look at this, I didn't get in a fight probably since I came to this country. Before I was a little different, but that's another story. But for him, sure, since I started to carry a weapon, I am the most probably peaceful person you can find, but doesn't mean that if I'm in trouble, I would be, I have the right to defend myself, but I want to try to avoid that. Lisa, anything else you want to say about anything?
No, I think we got it pretty well covered. But in the story that we're talking about from Polk County,
yes,
Florida, they did find the suspect, and they put 68 rounds in him.
Interesting. I was wondering
68. They actually found 68 holes in him. There's no telling how many shots were fired.
Yes, like in New York. I heard this story in New York, to hit 3 times, they had to shoot 170 times. I mean, the ratio is pretty bad. But, I wonder if that guy, as much as we don't know really if he's guilty or not, because I don't think he had a chance to go to a judge or a trial, but I wonder really if he tried to surrender at all. I didn't read that part.
Well, we'll never know that unless there happened to be somebody with a camera.
And that's why I'm trying to talk to, I'm trying to be nice when I see a lady like this lady that we were talking about, because my goal is not to be...
She really took that personal.
Oh, she got a very personal. On top, I understand probably she's very proud of her job. I don't know exactly what she does. Maybe her boyfriend is a cop. I don't know. That's fine. But the point is, we need to try to bring some sense and logic, in my opinion, and even helping each other, because sometimes we don't know everything. Maybe we are just young and little dumb. That's what I mean. So I wasn't trying to teach her things, but I said, wait a second, let's use the brain. I mean, do we have a Bill of Rights? Do we have a due process or not? Tomorrow could happen to your children, could happen to yourself. Tomorrow could be a corrupted cop try to do something against you. After all, it's human nature. Everybody can be corrupted. They're not just criminals. They're also sometimes bad cops, like they are good cops, So I don't think nobody should have the right and power to decide who lives and dies, So that's pretty much the story. Liz, I want to say thank you again, and I miss you on the air. I hope soon you're going to find a way to be back on, man, something. I like when I used to listen to you guys.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. I really miss it, and we're working on something, hoping to get back somewhere on the air.
Okay, and anytime you want to come back, this show is open to everybody, especially to friends. Okay.
Okay, appreciate it.
Very good.
Hey, we need to have break bread again.
We need to have what?
We need to break bread, have dinner together.
Oh, yeah. Last time, remember the time I came to the station with Dave and you, I brought bread. Really, literally, we broke bread. I made bread myself.
Yeah, that was good.
We're going to do it for real, some pasta, man. Lista, thank you very much. And please, guys, this is the show. God's willing, I'll talk to you next Sunday. And it's been always an honor to be here. And thank you for listening and to put up with my accent and everything else. But more important, thank you for sharing the news. We got to really have a chance to have an open forum here on the internet and also, of course, on the radio. You've been listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna. Don't forget, please, if you want to really support the show, of course, KTOX is there. The fact that we have still this freedom of speech, let's use it, support the station. But also my independent show, it needs your help. So you can go to zannaart.com. zannaart.com. You can download any of my songs for just 99 cents. You can find out about my paintings. You can find out about my coffee. And, of course, if you need the rifle, you got to get the rifle. freedomrifle.com, the most affordable military-grade AR-15 in M4 configuration for just $499, made in the USA with a bunch of freebies that you have no idea. Thank you very much. God willing, I'll talk to you next Sunday. Wake up.